Hello everyone and welcome back to Tabletop Fables and episode 7 of Dogs of M.E.R.C.Y. I'm DM Cody and we're going to go around and introduce ourselves starting from...
Hopefully introduce you as well.
We'll see.
Hey everyone, I'm Maddie and I'm playing as Clarimonde Brenadur, a human trickery cleric who has just recently started doing melee combat and is still trying to clean off the gore after beheading a pirate captain.
Hello everyone, my name's Matthew. I'm playing a nature tabashi cleric called Smoke, and I've recently become addicted or obsessed with finding an animal to milk, so I've got an everlasting source of milk. Why not? I'm a cat. And I also, actually, why not? Probably a lot of reasons. And I also have become enraged at the sight of animals being mistreated. Does that have anything to do with my constant misuse and mistreatment of animals? Who knows?
We're gonna find out on my own.
One of them self-hating abusers.
I mistreat myself. Oh.
G'day there, I'm Cooper. I'm back after a brief hiatus. It's been a long time. I haven't had any Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. I'm playing Kip. Yes, I'm playing Kip. A half-elf monk who, apparently likes fishing.
Who doesn't, right?
That's definitely not foreshadowing.
Just a heads up, that could be considered cruelty to animals. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah.
Thought occurred.
Where's Kip? He's still riding a boat.
Season 7.
You'll never not be rowing.
We're going to change your name to Gendry.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm
Blake. I'm playing Raz, a Air Genasi rogue who has finally found use in combat by dropping swords on people.
And getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you're getting stabbed, it means I'm not.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, let's be real.
I am Brett. I am playing Professor Belvedere Montbank, human wizard, who's recently decided he wants to take up adventuring. Although he's now actually killed someone directly with his own magic, so we'll see if he wants to continue.
Alright, so last episode, the crew made their way to the outskirts of the city with rumours of hell breaking loose as guards piled to the northern gates. They got in to find the things they'd lost when they were kidnapped, managed to get out and get back to the city, where they went to a bar and got into a bar fight, if you can call it that, which just kind of turned up to a pirate slaughter due to some interesting tactics and the fact that every single player rolled a natural 20 on their initiative. Every single one.
They hurt the hawk.
Can't make it up.
It was quite possibly the only natural 20 I rolled that night.
They got some information about a bathhouse where they should go investigating the cults that had been murdering people in the streets.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We accepted that bounty from that dude.
Yes, you did.
Damn it.
200 gold per person, 10 gold per head.
But what was his name?
Yeah. Oh, I had that. Zodge. Yeah, Captain John Zodge.
I remembered it.
Fist.
Oh, the Flaming Fist, that's right.
At the very end of the episode, everyone presented me with this. Hopefully you can see it.
Yes.
Which is the official Descent into Avernus dice and miscellany. Now, today, to start off, as promised, I'm going to be rolling 5 D100s off a magic item list, and everyone's going to get something. So let's start off with our very own Professor.
Oh, Professor.
Professor gets a 43.
I wanted that number.
Well, see if you did. Alright, so you have an earring called Helen's Earring. It's an earring that telepathically describes whatever is visible in front of the wearer, whether they can see it or not. Made by a child prodigy for their blind mother, who worked tirelessly in order to pay for their magical education. And also grants 60 feet of blind sight.
Nice. So
in
good
front
for
or
check
in
perhaps.
In front.
That's pretty good.
To the sides, peripheral.
Maybe just removes the invisible moments.
Yeah, you've got your very own Navi.
Alright, and moving on, Raz gets a 66 on the table.
Perfect.
Need one more 6.
No, it doesn't.
You get a bearded axe that allows the user to once a day cut down any tree in one swing.
You better not do that around Smoke.
It's called the rail splitter.
Oh, brilliant.
It's pretty good.
Alright, for Kip, we get a 41. Hands of the Knight Initiate. Once per long rest, you can cast Bless and Bane each once as first level spells without using a spell slot, and gain fate points on lay on hands per long rest.
Cast, guys. Smoke tries to take
What is this magic stuff? Oh my god.
Alright, Smoke gets 86. Excellent vintage, by the way.
Of what? Milk?
Like, this is
Yes, milk.
this is incredibly Smoke. The 10-gallon hat. The 10-gallon hat of hootin' and hollerin' is an ordinary-looking cowboy hat with the words "Yeehaw" embroidered on the front. Anyone who wears the hat must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be afflicted with its effects. The hat compels the wearer to speak in a Western accent, frequently use "Yeehaw," and will call anyone the wearer knows partner.
Well, howdy, partner.
We're not finished yet.
Oh, please don't.
Anyone they don't know they have to call stranger and replace all ings with ns, even when riding. The hat also
You were riding?
Wait, here we go. Holds 10 gallons of any liquid inside an extra-dimensional space. When poured into the hole, much like a bag of holding. The wearer is unaware of the hat's effects, and the wearer also gains a +3 bonus to charisma checks while being worn.
Holy shit.
So, you guys know the thing that we were talking about before we went on camera? He's Kip.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh my god.
Yeehaw, everyone. Howdy. Welcome to Frontierland.
Can I choose? Can I choose to fail that DC?
You can, yes.
So,
And for clarity,
strength.
we get number 7.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
It's very low.
It's an arrow. When the user holds this arrow aloft and whistles, the arrow flies through a target enemy, ignoring AC to do 1d6 piercing damage.
I'll take that.
The user continues to roll a d20 plus wisdom. For every consecutive roll above 15, the arrow shoots through another target the same way. On failure, the arrow returns to the user's hand and cannot be used again until after a long rest.
What is this called? Because I will look it up.
Arrow of Yondu.
Yes!
Of course it is! 10 gallon.
10 gallon.
This is amazing.
Oh my god.
You don't need to link that list so that we can read it and see what we could have gotten.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Do you know who?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, it's on D&D Wiki, right? Yeah.
Maybe, not sure. There's a custom list that I found that had some.
Oh no,
stuff
that's a
on it,
different
so-
one.
Yeah.
Could you maybe send a link so that because I didn't get quite all of that.
Is it SA Hunt Books by any chance?
Yes.
Cool.
What
Go.
was it?
Bless Google. SA Hunt Books.
Hashtag not sponsored by Google.
What is?
Hashtag sponsored by Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Oh my god.
continuing where we left off, back at HQ.
Indeed.
You've all arrived tired, exhausted, covered in blood,
Yeah.
and you see Kip standing at the door.
They're following us here.
That look like you've been in a interesting predicament. What the hell happened to you?
You missed the tavern brawl,
Shit!
which may have ended in a decapitation.
Or two.
Or two.
You know what? I'm impressed. I'm not sure which way I would have. I could have gone either way there. I'm gonna choose to be impressed at that.
Thank you. I prefer using a spiritual blade, though. I think far less messy.
That's understandable.
What were you up to?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sleeping off a hangover.
You son of a.
Yeah, as you might be able to tell, we drank quite a lot. It's just a hobgoblin lying on the ground.
You're even less used to this party than I am. And that is saying a lot.
Kip just goes quiet for a minute, just staring at you and goes, "Hey, guess what? How about I'll be useful for once? I found these things in my bag. Do you want them?
Smoke gratefully accepts.
They might fit your mittens. I don't need them." He loudly cracks his knuckles, which I did before stream, so I can't do it.
Oh. We missed you, buddy.
I missed you too.
My words might be acid, but my heart is gold.
I'm glad for that. Tell you what though, you're gonna have to keep that for a while. I might find myself on a little bit of a expedition. He bends down, picks up his bag, throws it over his shoulder.
You're leaving again.
I tend to do that, yeah. You see, I recently heard that my crew found themselves in a little bit of a tight spot, so yeah, I should probably go and help them out with that.
They weren't down at the wharf by any chance.
Who's this guy?
Professor Belvedere Montbank, an adventurer.
We may.
Oh, he's one of them academics that I hear about.
So I'm tall, skinny guy, full on mage robes, hat,
Stars and moons.
yeah,
Complete with hats.
stuff. Oh, you do know me.
You're an academic?
Yep.
He's a professor at the university.
So one of them academic types.
Yes.
I'm a fisherman.
Fascinating.
Also known as privateer.
Interesting.
Did we actually ever catch the names of those pirates that we killed? I don't think we did. No.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all fought
We
pirates?
just kind of murdered them.
Hey, welcome to my world. How'd you go? How'd you find it?
About as murdery as any other time we murder things.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you don't murder them. Sometimes you tie them up and laugh at them.
You know, I've never thought about doing that.
I'd recommend it. It's very funny listening to them try and insult you when you're standing on the deck and they're hanging from the mast.
Well, I mean, they did have a rather entertaining situation where they couldn't find their weapons.
Oh, yes. Yeah, stealing weapons off them before the fight starts.
I wonder who possibly could have had them.
I didn't. The rafters had them.
Well, shit, you outplayed me.
Look, as long as I can't be implicated in the theft, it's fine. Probably.
Can he be implicated in the theft?
Yeah, probably.
You do have a very good point, though. Speaking of theft, time is being stolen from me. I must depart.
Just when hell gets here as well.
Oh yeah, that
Seems
thing
to
was
be a
happening
trend.
again.
Yeah, well, I mean, Elturel to the north is already down. And apparently devils are pouring out of it, so there's that.
Well, shit, that'll be fun.
It is kind of a literal hellhole, yes.
Even more so than this fucking place is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been stuck here for almost a year, so I envy you in some ways in getting out. Anyway,
Well-
As they say, there's tweaks in your mind that Elturel's exactly where you were told your friends were.
Yeah. Well, tell you what.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but y'all ever, you know, want to catch me again in the next couple of days or whatever? Just, you'll find your way to. Y'all gonna find your way to hell soon enough.
Oh, I think after that tavern brawl, I'm already there.
See, he gets it.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever not been there for the last 10 years.
He gets it.
Professor, what's your relationship with hell right now?
I think I'm probably destined for the outlines, perhaps even mechanics.
And on that note, I'm getting out of here. Have yourselves a good one. It has been nice knowing you for the past. He just looks at his bare wrist. 3 freckles past 3, and yeah, I'll bid you adieu.
Same.
as he leaves, I shut up. Make love, not war.
You know me too well, but hey, what I like to say is "Porque no las dos," and he walks off.
alright, I'm gonna go up and give him a hug and just like probably guide you.
Does Smoke have any idea?
He'll pat you on the back and go, "And may fortune favor you." I'll catch you again, don't you worry.
I'll see you in hell.
You won't be far behind, trust me.
I'll invisibly head pat him with the mage hand.
Let's see what's bandana.
He sort of just looks at you,
Still is sore.
and just gives you the eye, and then just walks off.
I could snag a spare bandana.
You never know. Come in handy.
I'm going to. I don't know where from, though. Actually, do you even have a spare bandana? It's going looking.
You'll find out.
It's going looking.
Do you take the bandana?
The bandana? Yes.
He walks.
So it's now the middle of the night, you see Kip disappearing off. You're now
Into
have
the
a
fog.
bandana that's hanging in midair.
Thank you. Just gonna like tie that around the back.
Souvenir.
I'm just gonna tie it like over the oh damn it, invisible gloves. I'm gonna take off the glove so it becomes visible. Wrap the bandana around the tattoo and then put the glove back on. Insurance.
You're all feeling quite tired now. It's been oh no, sorry, it's not the middle of the night. It's morning now because you waited. So you
Yeah.
disappear down a well-lit street.
Oh, brilliant.
Just because our eyelids are so heavy.
Yeah, it's been a long night.
You see Gordo sort of coming down the stairs, rubbing his eyes. Ah, good, you're back. Did you get us any gold then?
We will. We have a few
Good,
pieces of evidence.
good. Keep it up.
We got an ear. You want an ear?
No, I'm good.
Good.
What are you thinking about the manor? We're not going back. I'm going to need to do some repairs around here. It's falling apart.
Raz's eyes start to glitter at the mention of the manor.
Look, at this stage, it makes sense to claim it, especially given the way things are going and the fact that we're going to be needing to make some stop-offs at the Flaming Fist headquarters in the upper city. Makes sense to have our own place, which is slightly more decorative than this one.
As you say that, you see him sort of nodding. He sort of slips his finger into his jerkin. You see him playing with what you know is a necklace. It's a small gold pendant with a red stone in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think it makes sense now. No use putting it off.
What do you think I've been doing for the last few days, besides being kidnapped?
Putting it off.
Exactly. Procrastination is one of my tendencies.
I know I raised you.
So does this mean we're getting a better house?
Yes, I suppose
Not
so.
just a better house, a manor.
Oh. And in what manner is it?
It's actually in quite good stead because it's being taken care of by the upper city, so should be in rather good shape.
Does that mean we have servants as well?
Don't think that'd be on the payroll anymore.
Look,
Or unseen, we can.
In which case, I think we'd better start packing things up down here, put them in the bag of holding, the alchemy kit, all that stuff, and then we can relocate.
Yeah, I'm liking the sounds of this.
Hang on. Smoke, didn't I hear last night that you are currently wanted by the upper guards?
I'm wanted by many people in many places for many different things.
I'll get out
You
the
guys can be more specific. Also, yes.
I'm going to head inside and go to sleep while you guys discuss this.
What did you do?
What didn't I do?
Oh, fuck. What didn't you do then that you should have done? Or did do that you didn't do? Or what the fuck did you do?
Can I roll insight on that?
Did he confuse himself or did you confuse him? 16.
Yes.
He seems to want to know why the town guard decided you were a wanted man.
Ooh.
Or cat.
Does Matt remember?
Is it the one where I attempted to cast Hold Person? Or is it a different one?
It might be that one. I don't remember.
It almost certainly is that one.
Oh, good. That one.
You guys just hear in the distance an echoing.
Look, Ruse did a thing. I tried to support him, and I tried to use the only ways I knew how, and I may have tried to. Geez, I ran from the law, and I tried to paralyze someone unsuccessfully, and.
Ruse the wizard used mind magic on you, did he? That's alright, we'll clear it up with the guards.
I am but a simpleton. I knew not what I was doing.
We've taken care of him, though he's gone.
The guard?
Ruse.
Oh.
Everyone got that story straight?
Absolutely.
He fled to the south.
It almost sounds like Smoke does as well, which is nothing short of a miracle.
Smoke at the risk of hearing anything else that might freak him out.
Should it be?
It should, yes.
I could flop you down.
I guess.
Oh, I was
It's like
having...
one of those Scottish fold cats.
I don't have on yet. But
Alright, well, I suppose we should go to the city watch. Let them know you're back. Get the paperwork started. It's going to take some time.
Absolutely.
I won't bother fixing the holes in the roof then.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Raz goes to pack his things into his bag of holding, and presumably everyone else's things into his bag of holding.
Don't forget, you've still got jobs to do.
Such
Oh,
as...
yes.
Such as making gold. What do you think?
Alright, of course.
Oh, that's the plan for tomorrow. We're raiding a bathhouse.
Tomorrow?
You hear a...
It is the morning of that day, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks like you could use some rest.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking we sort out these matters now, rest up, and then go out. Either this evening if we want to suddenly completely switch.
I think we need a night to break in the manor.
Oh, that's fair enough. Oh, sorry, if we could maybe stop off at how bizarre along the way, see if we can get that book opened up, because of course there's that charm person and alarm spell that we could use perfectly as a security system for the manor.
Yeah,
I'm
because
remembering there might be a good sort of portrait right in the middle of the room, like by the
perfect for it,
staircase. That'd be perfect. I mean, obviously we'll know not to look at. Of course.
I mean, how bad could it be even if we do, right? We all know what it is. Presumably we're off to sort that out.
Yeah, shall we?
You're going like that, you're not at least going to clean up first.
Oh yeah, that's
You look a mess.
good point. I mean, make an impression, surely. But,
Not the right one.
Smoke starts licking himself clean.
I'm going to go have a bath.
Go inside.
I approve.
Go inside.
This is like,
Yeah.
it's going to take ages to get this out of my hair.
Professor, can you prestidigitated that word?
Smoke goes and offers to help you out with that.
No.
Damn it.
Just make it.
I've got packing to do.
I send Port to start pecking out the stuff from your hair.
The extra.
Could you not? Please?
Does Hawk understand what she's saying?
No.
Alright, there you go. Hawk continues.
How does Hawk understand you, but not anyone else?
Look, we've got a connection. You just wouldn't understand, man.
He speaks Minotaur, doesn't he?
Yes. Minotaur speaking Hawk.
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
Canon?
God. Oh. See, here he was thinking you were asking for a cannon.
And you still get enough.
Oh well.
So you got to run yourself a bath. The professor's asleep. What's everyone else doing?
Packing.
Packing?
Is there, I'm not sure if we went over this, but is there like some sort of grove or, you know, some collection of trees, even a garden that Smoke could pray?
Not far away. You've got where that viewing platform was, where you stand in the fountain and you can see over the city. There were a couple of copses of trees down there, and it's probably about a 15-minute walk.
Cool. Smoke makes his way over there and begs for forgiveness, prays for forgiveness to Eldath for what happened in the tavern brawl.
Yep.
And Hawk prays too.
By picking at worms in the ground. Alright, so you're packing, you're praying, meditating,
Bathing
sleeping.
before going to a bathhouse.
Yep.
Sounds great.
So this house has a reservoir of water, which is a tank. It's not actually on the roof and supported by some large pylons. You have to sort of open the hatch and it flows into the bath. It's quite cold.
Yep.
You try and open the hatch and it's
Probably wake me up a bit.
So the hatch is just jammed.
Because of maintenance.
Smack it real hard with a blunt object.
Yeah.
Yep, roll a strength check.
First roll with the new dice.
Oh my god.
And that's a solid 5.
You hear a loud bang, and a bit of water sort of starts trickling out very slowly.
It's not.
So just like, on.
You keep whacking it up, some time it starts flowing.
Yeah.
Just echoes around the house.
And slowly the bath fills up. You got to pull the lever to close it, and it doesn't work.
We are leaving this house in a wreck.
DM, the items, the magical items at the beginning, they are the ones that Kip gave to Smoke.
Yeah, I assume so because he wouldn't use them. So
Yeah.
So Smoke has still got all of them.
Apparently.
Whilst praying at the grove.
I guess.
Cool.
he
Oh, damn,
gave
you're
you
the
the
group, so I
gloves.
can't see doing the whole destroy water thing.
I'm just packing. But also, you're not attuned to any of them yet.
No.
I'm just gonna keep like walking and going, please stop.
Quiet down there!
Because I don't have any spells to help with this or anything, so. Yeah, no.
So just the one that we got.
It starts flooding. You hear Gorda downstairs. What the hell's going on up there?
Still keeping the daggers on that.
Tap's broken again.
We're leaving soon. You hear him go through the front door, close it behind him. Not long after, you hear some clattering on the side of the wall. You look out to see him with an axe just hacking at the water tank and stuff floating outside.
Meanwhile,
Water comes to a stop.
a cat walks into the room. If it's possible to. I don't know if the door's open. And just walks up and touches it, and I cast Mending.
Yep, so the tap starts working again. You close it, and all the water's now gushing down inside and flooding down the street.
That's what I'm.
Cat turns around and walks off.
We're leaving soon anyway.
Shut the door behind me. Have a bath.
Yeah, so you have a bath, you meditate, you are sleeping, you're finished packing.
I don't think I hit anything successfully in melee, did I?
Sorry?
I didn't hit anything successfully in melee, did I?
You did hit someone with a sword.
Once. Okay, yeah. I'm probably mostly clean. I'll clean the sword.
Yeah.
Probably needs it.
I mean, that was from the rafters, so you weren't
Oh, right, of course.
splashed with it.
Right, yeah.
You were stabbed and impaled by the cultist.
Oh!
For
Right!
quite severely.
I forgot all about that. Oh,
Yeah.
my clothes.
Well,
need
lost
cleaning.
And also, you were stabbed before that. You were stabbed multiple
It's
times.
just all bloodstains just all over him. He just doesn't care.
Probably holes in your armour as well.
This is my red top. Oh wait, no.
This isn't supposed to be red. Hang on a minute.
No one will notice.
It's like middle of the day now, isn't it?
Yep. And you are very, very tired. You've been through a lot and haven't slept since.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now that I'm finished packing, I'm just gonna I assume I've got a change of clothes in here somewhere.
Yeah, you'd have a couple of changes of clothes. Your armour's still damaged, but you've seen the professor and things.
Yeah, yeah, and that's alright. I've got Shadow Kai armor now.
Yep.
Might not be the best to put that on yet. But
It's true.
But might be good for the cultists, right? We'll be freaking them out.
Yes.
Yes, cultists of death are probably scared of black armour.
Yeah, well, look, they're scared of the black armor of other cultists of death.
And also, I just like to be clear, you haven't seen the professor mend anything unless you are in the
bathroom, which I was not.
Yeah.
And
That would be weird.
I guess your armour is looking very rough and you have no idea how to deal with it.
I mean, look, I need to sleep. It's what I need.
Yep.
I need a rest because death has nearly hit me a couple times today.
Yes, it has. So you go to sleep as well.
Yeah.
You finish cleaning up.
Is everyone else going for a long rest right now or a short rest?
I am.
I imagine a long rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a long rest as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smoke also does.
Yep.
In like the middle of the day.
After prep.
It's like trying to like block out the sort of broken windows as much as possible to try and get the light to not sort of.
Are you returning back to the HQ or are you just resting in the park?
Rest in the park.
Yep. So you just curl up in the sunshine.
Yeah.
So you all fall asleep. You open your eyes and you look around and you're all standing there together. And in front of you is just white space and a small room. You see a very tall, pale white figure with black eyes cleaning what looks like tattoo gear.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Oh, hello.
Looks up at you and smiles and nods but doesn't seem to be able to speak and just gestures towards the chair.
Again. Fine. Walk towards the chair.
Yep. You walk towards the chair and climb in, I assume.
Yep.
He gestures towards all of you and points to the chair.
The one chair?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? What? When Clary's in it?
Yep.
This is a very odd dream.
Geronimo as I dive into the chair?
Yep, so you jump into the chair and all of a sudden you and Clary are in two separate chairs next to each other.
Oh,
Smoker's rejoined.
This is an odd experience.
Sorry?
very.
Smoker's rejoined.
Yeah, everyone's
He's awake.
together in this
He's
great
awake with
space.
us.
They've all
Yeah.
appeared together.
Presumably not you.
What? No, I don't know.
You're there.
What?
What's going on?
Oh, don't worry, we're just gonna get tattooed.
No, I'm not.
Dream plane, get in the chair.
Smoke sends Hawk to sit in the chair.
Yep, you see another chair explode out of it and Hawk's sitting there looking a bit surprised.
You've never been to the dream plane, have you?
Flexes its wings a little bit.
Welcome.
No, and I have no intention of being tattooed if I don't know why.
Most likely protection, or perhaps additional strength. I don't know. It depends what he's planning on tattooing us for.
It's usually protection. He'll undo the bandana from his hand. It's like, it's why I got this one. Protects
And
me
this
from
one.
protects us from the dream plane.
And this one.
And that one.
Oh, I just thought you were in a cult.
I mean, it's mostly been hidden under armor, and also specifically on the hand that she usually has her shield in front of.
Yeah,
So.
Some people say cult, other people say Adventurers Guild.
Fair enough. I will observe.
We have no idea whether you're going to be able to join once it starts.
You see this very tall, pale, slim, white figure smile at you, and you see it transform into a beautiful woman wearing semi-robes, holding a staff, and an otter sitting on her neck with long black hair. And she walks up and takes you by the hand and starts guiding you towards the chair. With
I think Smoke is fixated on the otter, of course.
You'll recognise this woman as Shade of Shay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, Professor Shade of Shay, Professor.
Are we allowed to say her name?
No one said we couldn't.
Okay. As opposed to her
Yes.
name.
Oh yes.
I'm just gonna roll an insight check. I rolled high enough that it shouldn't be a problem.
Depends what you're
Otherwise, it's like, no, it's more a case of weird magical stuff. Someone who just shape changed into a beautiful woman is asking me to do something that's obviously magical.
You're also aware it's a dream.
Oh, right, okay. I'm 19 anyway, so I follow along.
Dream plane kind of gives it away.
And takes you and guides you to the chair, and as you sit down, it just popped into another one, and you're sort of all in a bit of a semicircle. Looks at Smoke, and smiles, and nods,
Smoke reciprocates.
and then gestures towards the chair.
Smoke pretends like he's not going to do it, does it.
And the
Roll for
chair
performance.
pops, and you see Shade of Shay split into 4 different people, 3 Shade of Shays and 1 Ruse.
Oh, this is a new trick.
Ruse walks over to your left arm and smiles and pulls out a tattooing gun. and starts
You do know
tattooing.
that it's like heavily scarred on the
Yep.
left arm. It's still going to be done over that?
Yes. Yeah, and then Shade of Shay goes to everyone else's left arm. Right arm. And you see them start tattooing, and you just sort of space out and go into a dreamlike state. Looking up, you see white stars, and then where you all wake up feeling very refreshed.
Is this what elves feel?
I like to imagine that hawk just stays conscious the whole time and just takes it.
Yep.
Odd way of phrasing it, but okay.
on the back of the wing, right where the shoulder blade is, just like.
Oh, yes.
Everyone make a wisdom check for me.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yes. Wisdom check.
Save or check?
Check.
No.
16.
16?
Yeah, 16.
9.
10.
So the 2 of you wake up from asleep and you remember the dream. You 2 wake up and it's hazy, but you don't quite remember what happened.
No.
I'll get you to roll a perception check.
I was going to say, is it? Yeah, so a tattoo. Well, natural 1. I don't notice it.
You don't notice it.
We look down. What's
I fell asleep in my robes and I'm just going to precision shape them clean, so why
Yep.
don't I notice?
You remember the dream.
Up a natural one. Excellent.
So you wake up and I'm assuming you think to look at your arm.
Yes.
Over the scar, you find a symbol tattoo that looks like a series of sharpened bones crisscrossing. Which looks like this.
Oh, yeah.
Which
yeah,
you know
yeah.
is a traveller's symbol.
Well, it's one of the terrible symbols, yeah.
Smoke, you wake up and you brush your fur back from your arm, and you see a small leaf tattooed in black ink.
I smile at it and sigh contentedly.
And the 2 of us notice nothing.
Everyone wakes up and
What did Hawk get tattooed with?
I'm just gonna come down from my sitting and go, did anyone else have that tattoo dream?
Tattoo dream?
Look at your arm.
you see a small black leaf tattooed on it.
Oh, it was my left arm. Bastard. Why is there a black leaf on my arm?
That's weird.
Well,
Do you have...
I have the bones, so...
No, nothing.
It nicely covers the scar, actually.
You did, I remember you saying right arm very specifically.
Okay, yep. No, you see nothing.
Oh, left arm's nothing. Damn.
Other arm?
What's this?
Hawk looks at each one of them and then once again at his wing and gets sad.
I'm just going to assume 7 stars.
Sorry?
The 7 stars?
No, it's a leaf.
Oh, I also got a leaf?
Yeah, the 3 of you got a leaf, you've got the crossbones.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another tattoo. Does anyone care to explain why?
Well, given that I have one of the usual symbols of the traveller and you have the leaf, I presume... Do I need to roll a history check for this? Or... religion check?
Yeah, roll religion. With
Yeah.
advantage.
Alright, cool. Tell me what that's gone. That's a nat 20 plus 4, so 24.
What exactly are you trying to decipher?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's the traveller and Elder, like symbols. But
it's
also
a traveller.
perhaps.
You're not sure what the leaf is, though.
Okay. Even with the 20.
It doesn't seem religious.
Okay.
Fancy.
Within that 20, you get the insight that it is probably the sign of growth of some sort.
Well, it's probably a sign of growth of some sort, but I'm curious as to why I got a different one to the rest of you.
I heard the students talking about tattoos as a sign of rites of passage or something, but...
Wait a minute, that means we did this in the dream plane, presumably, yes?
Yes.
You've now been to the dream plane. Welcome to the club.
Welcome.
Oh, okay. Why can't I remember?
Well, at least this time you're not getting attacked or stabbed. It was only tattoos.
Or
so-
squashed by a Garistra multiple times.
Turned into a ghost.
Those are all the things that can happen in Dreamland.
And many more.
Paige, bring me my hat. So Paige runs down. I take off the hat I've got on. I put on a more fancy wizard's cap.
More fancy!
And I throw like the other one back and she runs off with it.
So it's now what, like late afternoon or something?
Yeah, it'd probably be, we'll say 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Sorting out a mana?
Yes,
Alright.
I believe so.
I've got this earring that is good for seeing things that aren't there, so I've put it on.
Brilliant. That'll be very useful for me not getting stabbed.
Ideally.
Or traps in a potential lair.
Oh, that too, yes. Perfect.
Only if they're invisible.
Well,
Well, if they're visible, then hopefully we'd see them.
I mean, it's like it's my own... Okay.
Look, take it easy on him. He's new to this adventuring life, Barry.
Fair.
I've only killed one person.
Oh,
yourself.
No, I didn't
that would make 2.
kill myself.
You killed
No, you don't kill one person yourself.
Kill others.
Yeah.
What's different? I did it.
Fair. Yeah, alrighty. Onward.
Smoke goes up to Belvedere and asks him if he has a minute to talk about the ways of Eldath.
Not really, no.
Smoke walks off then.
I say to sort of brush my mistress symbol. So, what breakfast do we normally have here?
Whatever
It's in
Gordon
the
has on
middle
hand.
of the afternoon.
Well, I need to break my fast.
Fair. What do we have for breakfast?
You go down, there's like no food. There's a couple of old vegetables, a couple of carrots and onions in the cupboard.
I usually
God.
don't
Style
eat
bread.
breakfast. I usually get a bit queasy in the morning. It's not really my thing.
Oh, hold on a second. Raz gets down the bag of holding from his back, opens it up, pulls out near. No, not that. Pulls out one of Rose's rations and sort of chucks it at you. It's like, it's like a package of like a dried meat and such.
You remember a couple of nights ago, Gordo was a little bit inebriated and ended up trashing the kitchen. Most of the food was destroyed in the afternoon.
Oh, and before that, he entirely tore down the oven when he was trying to bake like carrots or something.
Yep. Tried to burn his vegetables and fucked it up. It was great. We should not let Gordo near the food in the manor.
Oh no, definitely not.
So you're all awake now, ready to go. Where is your destination?
Well, I presume we're going to the upper city, and then from there, I guess whichever's closer, either Silver Sword or Halbazar.
How was I be on the way to the office with you?
Oh, in which case,
Perfect. Yeah.
Head to
You
Alabama
show him that
first.
book. Get him to open it.
Perhaps we could maybe also find a moment to get some healing kits.
Oh, that reminds me. That reminds me of one of the things that we found
Oh, yes.
in another place. Yeah.
What?
Is it technically a herbalism kit or is it a healing kit? Or is it a
it's-
healing kit that's herbal based?
Healing kit is herbal based. Yes, it's kind of perfect for him. So he gets out this. Is it a basket or like a package or a pouch?
It's wrapped in black leather.
Wrapped in black leather. This collection
Tied with what looks like a vine made out of leather.
Yeah, so he gets out this sort of black leather wrapped pouch thingy, and inside it you find a myriad of different herbal remedies. And Raz basically says to you, "Is that useful for you at all?"
Oh, I think I can make good use of that.
Perfect.
So you now have a healer's kit.
Can finally change my healer feat.
From the Shadowfell.
Make sure you note that.
Oh!
So from the
Shadowfell.
Oh.
Shadowfell healer's
Shadowfell.
kit.
Okay, sure.
Nobody tell them what that is.
I look at it. Do I know anything about it?
It doesn't look like any herbs you've ever used, but you do see some comparisons in some of them to ones you know.
I've got a regular healer's kit. Great.
Probably just been sitting in the sun too long, so it's discoloured and misshapen.
Which is perfectly fine.
Probably just makes them more vintage and spicy.
Yes, exactly. Adds flavour.
Alright, so you head out to the streets and towards Halbazars. So you wander through the streets and end up seeing this large round building. You see the coins scatter from the holographic illusion.
Oh, yes.
And you find yourselves at the door.
Have you ever been to Halbazars?
Oh, not for a couple of years.
You'll enjoy this.
Let's head on in, shall we? Open the door.
Yeah. You see Halbazar standing behind the counter going through some new inventory. Welcome. You all look familiar. I think I've seen you not. Oh, you're the ones that dug up my floor. Yeah, of course.
We meant it afterwards.
Yes, you did.
That was I. You're welcome. You're welcome.
And a professor. Well met, sir.
Mr. Bazaar?
How bizarre. What you want?
Well, it is, but...
He recognised you. Recognises you as a professor from your robe.
Well, yes.
Who else wears robes like that?
I have not spent enough time in the city, clearly.
You can see that symbology across here signifies that I'm an enchanter. These like stripes down here and this symbol here signifies that I can cast spells to the 3rd level. It's a code.
Also the cat. Give away.
What? Hey, I thought I let you hack.
He's like hiding in the hat.
Perfect.
Hawk is just eyeing off Paige.
What can I do you for?
You threw Raz off with that. He produces the Medusa's tome and hands it to him and just says, it has some sort of arcane lock on it, and we don't know the command word to it.
Neither do I, I'm afraid.
Is it within your services to open it in some fashion?
I'm afraid I'm not a powerful spellcaster. Your friend the professor would probably know people better for that.
Well, that's unfortunate. Professor?
Oh. Yes. I know. I know some people skilled in various schools of magic.
Are they on the way to where we're going? In the upper city?
I mean, you're at the university, so quite possibly.
Brilliant. Was there anything else that we hear from Halbazar?
I'm curious as to what the new inventory is. Just out of curiosity.
Well, we've got a few bits and pieces here, mostly just trinkets. Professor. This one will probably suit you. He reaches down and pulls out a hat that looks a lot like yours, but it's got some gold stars on it that seem to glimmer a bit and disappear and then move on the hat.
It
I
does
trust
look
you
fancy.
know what this is.
I do. Do you wish to accept coins from the Shadowfell?
Not as currency, but as trinkets perhaps. Let me inspect them.
As inventory?
He sort of pours them across and starts looking at them. He's like, curious, strange alloy. I'm afraid I'm not well versed. Do you know what the currency is, what it would be worth in gold?
Do I?
You've got no idea.
Unfortunately, I do not know.
Well, the metal itself would have some value. That will more than cover it, but I feel bad taking this. I could offer you something else, but it is cursed.
What is it?
He pulls out a hat with a white hat with black stars on it and puts it down.
Both of them or
Both of...
the hats?
Oh no, just this one. That one is exactly what you'd think it is.
What's the curse on the other hat?
Well, it takes you to the next circle of spells.
How's that a curse?
Well, you'd have to try to cast and fail quite miserably for it to work. I.e. a natural one to make it work.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think the hat of wizardry will suit me more.
Well, you can have both for the price.
Oh, okay. Although I should be, before I do that, perhaps there's something we might be able to use after I didn't just get this money myself. Do you have something like a wand of detection or something we might be able to use to like find that cult?
Oh, yeah.
What other inventory? Do you have new inventory since we last saw you? I mean, obviously.
Nothing like that. Only reputable items here.
Oh, of course. Like, what sort of things do you have?
Look around. We've got everything.
Like
Is
say,
that Finger of Death scroll still there?
Yes.
like
Reputable.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Kills people and makes them a zombie. Like,
Yeah, like how you didn't have a Medusa's eye.
Exactly. Of course I didn't.
Of course you didn't. This is the kind of
Have
7%.
you put a hat on yet?
Not yet.
So you definitely don't have a wand of detection at all.
Oh, of course not.
No, of course not. What about a regular wand of not detection
A stick.
that you don't have on
So
display, perhaps?
if it's wet, it's raining. If it's gone, tornado.
if it's moving, it's windy.
It's slippery and wet.
What about an item? I think I've got this.
Okay.
I know, I can have this.
Okay.
An item that could help us detect where cultists who are murdering people are hidden behind secret doors. It'd be a reputable item.
Yes,
Probably
it would
good
be.
with-
That would be very handy, and I'm sure the city guard would be very impressed if you could do with them.
Funny bit that's
Roll a perception or arcana, your choice.
doesn't matter. I think 9.
Yeah, he reaches under the counter and pulls out one and is like, oh, this should do it, I think.
I'm so caught up in like my own like.
So happy.
Can I make it? No, I'm not proficient in perceptions.
Oh, but I am, and I'm paying attention to this. 24.
You hear a strange sound that sounds like a rippling. You know he's reaching into somewhere extra dimensional.
Ooh, fancy. Like, say, a bag of holding, perhaps?
Something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little pocket cleaned.
Yeah.
Secret chest.
Oh, brilliant.
Excellent. So that will cover, rather than the hat, the fancier hat. The wand and the hat of wizardry together will cover the coins.
I still don't know what they're worth. Say that in 50 gold.
Okay.
Kazza, excellent.
How
Hear that little ripple again.
You'll leave you 50 gold.
how bizarre.
Yes.
Do you have a wand of detect cow?
No.
No. It's all yours.
Would have helped me find my mother-in-law.
That implies you have a wife. Or a husband. No, I think
Give me details of your mother-in-law.
I was joking.
Go on.
Joking. She's a very, very nice woman.
Well, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Oh, can you identify things?
For a price?
Okay. I put down the bag of holding, and I get out the bandolier of lightly glowing knives.
Oh, very sharp.
They seem to be, but they're also weirdly glowing, and I'm wondering if that's magical in some fashion.
Oh, yes.
Can you tell me what kind of magic, perhaps?
I can. Place them down on the counter.
Yep, I will do that. How much is it going to cost? But never done that.
Well, I always discuss price before doing the job, but
Oh.
I'm happy to do the job first and then disclose.
I feel like let's
What a price.
disclose the price first, shall we?
Detection is 25 gold pieces.
Easy. Detection or...
I'll identify it for you.
Thank you. That's what I was after. Yeah, 25 gold pieces sounds reasonable. I assume I have that much. Not gonna
Otherwise,
lie.
I do.
I was going to say, yeah, not going to lie. How am I keeping track of that?
I've probably got like 106 gold, I think.
Yeah,
In
there was-
personal. But then also, hang on, shouldn't even Ruse. Because Ruse was keeping track of the funds.
the party gold.
funds.
But let me tell you a story about how that was not one of the things mentioned on his bag of holding.
Oh no! So we lost like the gold we got, unless we.
I imagine his backpack is his proper inventory,
Yeah.
but
So we need to.
actually ask Josh what
Find
the
out,
gold's
yeah.
in his inventory. Because I forgot to ask that.
Because
Yeah.
we do have. Because he was being our party accountant.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We definitely have at least like 2,000 though.
Yeah, I remember
We
that.
got a bunch.
But
Let's assume you have 25 gold pieces. And
Easy.
If you pay him, he'll be happy with that.
Yes, indeed.
So you
Indeed.
count out 25 gold pieces.
Yep.
He counts it up. You
Yep.
ripple again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He reaches under the counter and pulls out a large, lustrous white pearl and starts throwing it over them.
Mm-hmm.
Starts muttering under his breath some incantations. You see it glow different colours. Puts the pearl away. So, do you mind?
Go for it.
He pulls out one of the daggers and just throws it at the wall, and it embeds, and it just shatters like glass and disappears as it falls and reappears in the bandolier.
Oh, that is fancy.
Have you ever heard of the magic spell Cloud of Daggers?
Yes.
we've seen it in action.
Uh-huh.
If you attune your soul to this piece, you should be able to use it for that.
Ooh. Oh, that is fancy. I like that.
Twice a day, the sun will reset it. That's that red glow.
Oh, I see, of course. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Albazar.
You're welcome.
I'm about to put on that bandolier of knives because that sounds great.
Anything else I can help you with?
I think that's it for now, I believe. Unless anyone else has anything.
Well, I tried for the only thing I wanted. So. You are a great service to your country, Albazar.
Thank you.
Technically, it's a city-state, not a country.
Thank you.
Technically, or is?
Goodbye. Thank you. Hope to see you again soon.
And out we walk.
Yeah.
Smoker bristles a little bit and just walks out.
You hear in your head, there's a man standing behind the door you can't see.
What? On our way out? Oh, that's fun.
No, just yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
it's-
no, you have share this information with us?
No.
No? Okay.
I mean,
Well, I've
it's like we,
at the door.
yeah, we can't see through the door.
Yep. So you head up,
Yeah.
and where are you headed?
Upper
I
City, I
think
believe.
Upper City.
Yeah.
Yep. So you head up towards the same gate you usually pass through.
I will though, because his thinking is this is like a magic store.
Yeah.
The fact that there might be someone invisible nearby, you know,
Oh,
whatever.
You'd know security straight away with your background.
Okay.
As everyone's walking up to the upper city, Smoker's not going to actively try and stealthily get there, but is definitely going to do his part to just
Look
avoid.
normal.
Yes, definitely not putting on that hat. Yes, but avoiding eye contact, just generally trying to
Blending
stay
in.
away. Yes.
So you head up to the gate.
Mm-hmm. Where with him?
No. What? Yes. Hi.
What's your business here, Professor?
Well, going to the university.
You know the upper city's locked down at the moment. I'm
No,
sure.
I was not aware of that.
Well, unfortunately, it is.
Well, did we still have that written on us?
You should, yes.
Should yes.
He sort of looks at it suspiciously for a minute and then looks down and starts reading it and gives him, very well, here you go, opens the gate and ushers you in.
I'm surprised that worked for you.
I didn't have to name drop or anything. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and you start heading in.
Also,
You
surely they would have
notice
recognized me as well, because I'm not actively disguising myself. But
no one's seen you for 20 years. A few people that knew you when you were a child, but these are just town guards.
Yeah.
And also
okay.
smoke.
And also smoke.
It's okay.
So you get in, the city's fairly deserted. You see some guard patrols. You do see some movement in some of the larger matters of people moving about in some of the businesses, but it's seems like most people have been sent out of the upper city.
Would I know where Silver Sword is, roughly?
You know where his manor is.
Yep.
Whether he's there or not, you're not sure. He could be in the docks doing business. He could have
Sure.
headed to the lower city. He could be anywhere at this time of day.
Give a message to his guards if he isn't. So what was that about something you knowing someone who might be able to open the book with the
Yeah.
was someone from the university? And yes, I am procrastinating, but yeah.
Well, I know a few people. The problem is they'll be overly curious.
Fair point.
Now, what is the book?
It's a Medusa's sort of tome of knowledge. It contains potential information that could help restore one from petrification.
And also prevent Medusa eyes from petrifying people.
So quite groundbreaking.
Lots of research into that same subject.
So if anything, I mean, if it went to a university, it wouldn't be the end of the world. If anything, it could help more people.
Roll an insight check.
They lied to me. 12.
You would think something like that could probably get you access to Candlekeep. If you can get through the magic locks, depending on the information inside.
Your turn to lie to us from the sounds of it.
Yeah. Lies is such a strong word for just not saying things.
Exactly.
This is not volunteering information.
Yes, I know a few people will head to the Abjuration, Knoxville. Anyway, head to the School of Abjuration and we'll see who's there.
Perfect.
You seem to know a lot of things.
Well, yes, he's a
He's a wizard.
professor.
Yeah.
I'd be worried if he didn't.
Do I have any idea? Smoke have any idea what a professor is, given all of his time in the wild?
I mean, you probably have an idea that it's a teacher of some sort, but you don't really understand the role.
Smoke just regards over there with just an air of curiosity.
No, I'm used to it.
Yeah,
It probably doesn't help that I'm like, with my new hat, I am cycling my way, except that one, through a bunch of cantrips.
Oh.
So it's like there's a torch, it's like turning into like a dragon. Walking a bit further, create a minor illusion.
And all that from a hat.
Yes, it's a hat of wizardry.
I've heard of those, but I'm not clear on what they do.
They typically they have a number of cantrips stored in them, so you can draw on your own arcane knowledge rather than your magical knowledge. And but you have to also be familiar with the arts, and you can cast any cantrips that you have a knowledge of.
wonderful.
Right.
Like a knowledge of rather than the practice of. So.
I'll just cast Mage Hand and like fucking grab like the end of your staff or something. I'm just like, yes, I have some knowledge of.
Well,
Smoke just put his paws just up on top and is just imagining himself with some sort of.
is there an equivalent hat for yourself?
Well, probably not for what I do.
Ooh.
Actually, I imagine the equivalent hat for me is what you're wearing.
Like a pontiff hat, maybe. I guess that'd be weird.
So sad.
A hat of clericism.
A hat of divine intervention.
If only I had some sort of hat.
I think we're
Heading to the
following
university.
Professor to the university to see if we can find.
To the School of Abjuration we go. Or whatever knock.
Where is my hat?
Whatever school of magic knock is in.
So you come to the large gilded gates of the university.
Yes.
You see a platoon of soldiers standing guard around it.
A platoon, even.
Oh,
That's
that's a
terrifying.
very, very large amount.
It is.
You see some guards wearing red armour standing at the doors of the main hall of the university behind the gates as
Playing
well.
fist. Playing fist.
Flaming Fist, that's it, yeah. Do we know if they were employed by Silver Sword?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, we can certainly find out.
Yeah, because I was just going to shout to him, just like, if anybody sees Silver Sword, can you tell them that Clary's looking for it?
Excuse me.
Yes,
May I pass with my friends?
you may. They're not at the schools, are they?
We're part of his retinue.
No problem.
He asked you if he could pass with his friends, and you said you may. Does that not mean we all get to pass with him?
He studies linguistics.
I am a professor.
You may not.
Oh.
You may pass alone or not at all.
Very well. Shouldn't take long.
Shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
I think it's booked.
Very well.
You head in, and where are you headed? So as you walk in, there's flourishing gardens, lots of alchemy plants growing, some fountains. There is the main hall ahead of you, and a couple of towers to the left and right.
Let me just see what knock is. Transmutation. I head to School of Transmutation.
Yeah, so that's the
I
tower
assume
to
I
the left.
know someone there.
Yeah, you know a couple of people in passing. You probably started your study with some of them and then branched off.
Basically, so I don't bog the entire party down, I'd trade the option to read and copy the book at some point in the next few weeks, because we can't really need it, for the opening it.
Very well, it'll take time. Leave it with me and I'll see what I can do.
You do have to have the spell prepared?
We're a bit preoccupied at the moment, as you know, with the main gates. All of our magic's being poured into doing what we can to stop whatever's coming.
Well, this is brought in trust to me. When can I book an appointment for you to cast the spell?
He pulls out a big tome and starts looking through. You see it's handwritten. You see lots of spells of like conjuring magical items and weapons and protection. You see him mentally doing the math of his magic and how long it's going to take to this. Is like, it's going to be at least 3 days.
Alright, put me down then.
How have you been anyway, Montbank?
Oh, good. Good.
We could use your services here, you know.
I'm after cultists at the moment, helping people find them down, some adventurers.
Ah, yes, I've been hearing. It seems like the least of our problems with what's happening up north.
True, but murders inside the gates is not going to help.
Especially with the guard concentrated here, you're right. Well, we're safe enough in here. The Flaming Fist have been looking after us. They're bloody terrifying. Anyway, let's get back to it, but we'll see you in 3 days.
Get back up. Good news and bad news. I have an appointment for 3 days. Here's the book.
Oh, the bureaucracy of higher education.
Well, it's mainly coordination of spells with preparation for the...
The hell's arriving?
Yes, that.
Right.
The hells.
Alright.
Puts the book back in the bag. Fair enough.
I've been putting this off for far too long.
Indeed.
Shall we head off?
We shall.
And I head off in the direction of the Silver Sword banner.
Yep. Yep, so you head off there. It's fairly central in the middle of the upper city. You see a couple of Silver Sword guards staying at the front.
I walk up to them and say,
Oh,
hello.
what's your business here?
I am very late for an appointment with Brandon Silversword. And by late, I mean by at least a few days. I've kind of lost track, being kidnapped in the process.
You have to have your scribe book another one. Move on.
Claramond Brenador. Just tell him that.
We can't. He's not here at the moment.
Where is he?
Couldn't tell you. Sorry, won't tell you.
You wouldn't happen to know when he'll be back, do you?
At some point in the future.
Well, that's nicely non-specific.
I don't think we'd be paid our gold if we start giving away our master's private details.
That's fair. When and if he gets back.
Do I recognise any of the guards that were there when they initially took me to Silversword?
No.
Well, no, none of them? Yeah.
When,
It's private,
Yeah.
personal.
if and when he gets back, could you tell him that Claramond is looking for him?
I can.
Perfect.
All we need.
Very well, be on your way.
Yeah, we have cultists to hunt down now, I guess.
Alright, let's head on.
Sure. Paige, can you please watch the front door and come find me when Lord Silver Sword comes back?
Your little mule and hops off and climbs up in a building across the street and just perches up there.
Neat.
Well, bathhouse,
Bathhouse.
shall we?
Yeah.
Alright, and where is the bathhouse in relation to here? We have to head out the upper city, or is it? 'Cause I think from memory it wasn't too far from the Elfsong Tavern.
Oh, damn it, I packed everything into that bag of holding. This is going to be great.
So it's on the sort of skirts of the upper city and lower city, heading
Perfect.
down towards the beach.
Alright, let's head that way.
Yeah, you walk past some of the manors in a very large old building where you see Gorda standing at the front with his arm folded, staring at you.
Silversword isn't around at the moment.
That's hardly our problem. What are you doing?
Currently going to kill cultists and get us more money.
Aren't we claiming the manor back?
Well, we will when I can have a meeting with
You
Silversword.
don't need him. Why do you think we're here?
Alright, fine.
Come on, in you come.
Are we just claiming the man without going through the proper documentation?
He gestures to the building that's like basically the town hall.
Oh. The man who didn't make it clear.
No.
Oh, very well then. I'll head on in.
Yep. You walk up and there's someone at a counter with half a million glasses, a number of large tomes in front of him. Good morning.
Morning. My name is Claramond Brenador. It's been a while.
Very well, thank you.
It is nearly evening.
What can I do for you?
I'm here to reclaim the Brenador Manor.
Brenadua Manor. And you have proof of ownership, I trust? You look at Gordon and just kind of shrugs.
Really? This is why I was going to Silversword to get the right documentation.
Don't you have a
title?
Don't you have
Actually, I
any...
should have.
Yeah, you got
because I
something.
took the noble background. I
Yeah.
should have in my inventory.
You have exactly that.
Yeah, I do actually have like a scroll of authenticity or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have a signet ring, that's it.
Yeah.
So I do have one, yes.
I believe you do also have a scroll of pedigree.
Yeah, scroll
That's
pedigree,
two.
so.
Yep.
Yeah. So you hand the signet ring and the scroll. Looks it over. How do I know it's you and you didn't just kill someone and take it from them?
Well,
I'll say to the rest of your
the
family.
thing is,
Oh.
I was in a shipwreck when I was 8. Surely, if someone would have been interested in claiming the manor, they would have done it sooner than many years, almost 2 decades later.
Unless Lady Clarimon's belongings washed up on shore and someone just found them?
After so many years of a shipwreck.
Who knows? These things are mysterious. Through this way to this room.
I'll follow.
Guide you to a room with a large stone bench and a wooden table.
Bureaucracy.
Take a seat.
Alright.
The others can wait against the wall. Is that you see celery? Celery! You see him waving for the doorway. A woman comes up wearing white robes.
I cast no one cast a time.
And she walks in, she's like, oh, good morning everyone.
Early time of day to you too.
Anyway. So what are we doing today?
I'm not sure, you'll have to ask this gentleman over here, but I'm here to reclaim my title and manor.
Yeah, proof of identity please. Yes, of course. I'm going to cast a spell on you, is that alright?
Absolutely.
She holds a symbol in her hand and gestures towards you. You can make a wisdom save for Zone of Truth.
Nope, not in this case.
And she sits down across from you. Who are you?
I am Claremont Brenadua.
Who was your father?
Oh yeah, I never actually thought of a name for him. Great, getting
Lord
put on the spot.
Brenadua?
Pardon?
Lord Brenadua?
Lord Brenadua is the
Graham.
Graham Brenador, let's go with that.
Bruce. And you have a blood right claim to the manor?
Indeed I do.
And what are your intentions with it?
Currently to use it as a stronghold for my Adventurers Guild, given that we are currently working on ridding the city of cultists.
How many residents will be attending?
Thinking about this.
Do the maths. 7, I think?
7 to 10, most likely.
And means of protection?
Well, we are all skilled adventurers in protecting ourselves.
So adventurers means you'll be away. How do you protect the manor when you're gone? Once it's out of the town's hand, it won't be looked after anymore.
We currently have plans in place. We discovered a warding spell that combines the spells Alarm and Charm Person. We're just waiting for the spell to be unlocked from the book, which should be done with an appointment with the university within 3 days.
Interesting. And upkeep?
Upkeep?
Who's that dwarf fellow?
Oh,
Gorda.
Gordo, yes.
Gorda. And also, some of my friends here have some unseen servants that may be able to help out at times when needed.
And the cat knows mend.
How much in the treasury?
2,000 at least.
I'm
2,000.
unaware. We have 2,000 in our party funds, but I'm unaware, given that I've just returned, of how much is within the remaining estate.
The estate has been claimed by the local.
Understandably.
2,000 is not going to be enough for a start-up for a treasury. You need 5,000 at least.
Does it require a treasury in order to own?
You need to be able to prove upkeep.
Is that expensive to upkeep?
Yeah.
Smoke is good at mending.
Well, we are currently in the process of hunting cultists for a fee, and so we should ideally have that 5,000 gold soon.
Wait,
In which
very
case
well.
I will be back when it is time.
She stands up and bows and leaves, and you feel the spell effect disappear.
isn't all of our abilities to upkeep things currently being given to us for free?
Who's?
Gorda and Smoke's mending ability and your unseen servants.
It's a very different bureaucratic thing.
Ah, bastards.
Which is why I wanted to go to Orphans.
Yeah.
Is there anything broken that she has that I can mend?
Probably. It's not going to make a difference.
Alrighty, yeah.
Very well. Come with me. He starts rifling under the desk and pulls out a big slab of paper and hands it to you. Go through these contracts, sign them where needed.
Will do. I take them and I put them in my backpack for now.
Once finalised, it should take between 1 and 2 10-day to finish.
Perfect, thank you.
Make sure you have proof of treasury.
Will do.
Good day.
Walk out and just go, oh, I hate bureaucracy.
Rice just walks out of the town hall just like, oh, that's what government is like.
Yes.
I hate it.
Exactly. Why do you think I got away from all this?
What?
Ah, well, they'll suspend services now while they investigate. We can just move in. As long as we're quiet about it.
Seriously?
Not legally.
I'd rather
right.
not risk it when I'm trying to go through the proper processes.
You gonna fix up the old headquarters then? That's what I thought.
I'd like to imagine that Smoke would have been doing some
Bits.
working on a part of it.
You meant it's just falling apart. It's an old ramshackle building.
More a lean-to than a building.
Yep. Every time you fix one thing, 2 things fall apart.
Yeah.
Alright, you get home to find Gorda tearing ovens apart.
I tried to mend Guido.
Doesn't
Oh, that got real. Alrighty, yeah.
well beyond saving.
Alrighty, yeah. I guess this means that in like the next day or two, we're just gonna sneakily squat in a manor.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Oh dear. Fine, but I am in so much shit if we get caught.
I mean, yeah, but we're also risking our lives every other day, so it doesn't matter, relatively speaking.
True. Alright, fine.
Give me a day or 2 to prepare. I'll make sure we don't get seen in there.
Alright.
And now we have a bathhouse to invade,
Yeah, go make us some gold.
because we're definitely not going to be able to break in a manor properly whilst also being quiet.
Yeah. Bathhouse. Bathhouse.
Bathhouse?
Let's go.
Bathhouse.
Bathhouse!
Walk. Oh,
It's Minotaur bathhouse.
not canon.
Doesn't matter. It is in our hearts.
Alright, so you head out of the upper city and down towards the bathhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And ahead of you see a figure sort of climbing the fence and peering over at the bathhouse, seeming to survey it. Would you like to describe what the figure looks like?
So, if you're looking at this figure from the back, you
Which we
will
are.
see very little to notice about her. She's pretty much completely covered with this muted, like pretty much almost pitch black, very faint greyish cloak that she currently has put up and down to her ankles. You can see, however, she is wearing what appears to be leather boots with about a 3-inch heel on them.
Nice.
And you would notice sitting on her shoulder there appears to be a pitch black owl about this tall. It's currently just sitting there and peering. That turns its head and goes around at you all. The figure will then just step down, put one foot back, and then turn on her heels. And as she turns, she turns around and it reveals she is wearing black leather boots up to about her just below her knee.
Yep.
Black leather pants as well. She appears to be wearing around her waist is like one of those. It's not like a skirt or a dress. It's just like on one leg. I can't remember exactly what you call them.
Yeah.
But
Is it also black?
No, it's actually white.
Damn.
Like a whitish silver.
Right.
She appears to be wearing a black leather belt where there is a very, very expensive looking rapier on her left hip, and just a kind of a good quality dagger on her right. She is wearing what appears to be a white silver top, sort of fitted to her body. She is quite slim as well. She's about 5'8". And
So a bit taller than Clary.
a little bit taller.
I was going to ask how tall she was. Now that
She's 5'8" without the heels.
exactly.
Yeah.
Raz is suitably intimidated.
She throws back the hood, and you immediately notice the 2 white horns that protrude from her head back.
Skin color?
Skin color, pure white.
Yeah.
Snow white.
Yeah.
You see her eyes are this icy blue color as she looks over all of you. Her facial structure, she is very attractive, like flawlessly attractive.
Intimidated is now with a capital I.
You notice around her neck there is a like a black leather necklace choker type thing where there hangs a very vibrant blue sapphire that sits there. Her arms, her shirt comes down to her elbows, where you just see more white skin, flawless white skin, white nails as well. But one thing that will strike you is what appears to be these chain tattoos, ultra realistic black chain tattoos that wrap around her. They appear to, I'll get it on camera. So you've got the shirt ends there. The chains appear to wrap up around here to her wrist, where they wrap around and then extend up her hand there and wrap around her middle finger, both arms. She is wearing a couple of rings, one on each hand. She looks probably about late 30s as well, but very good for her age. And yeah, she sort of looks at you all and goes, "Well, this is interesting, to say the least."
Take it you're scouting out the bathhouse?
Well, would you believe me if I said yes?
Most likely. You look like the sort who have been perhaps hunting cultists.
Well, and you must look like a band of adventurers. She sort of just looks all over you, judging on your, particularly used to, your unique composition.
You're one to talk.
Indeed I am.
Oh, that's right. I need to change my armor.
Well, I suppose I am under the assumption that you have heard about this cult menace.
We're already collecting ears, yes.
Well, we must have the same agenda.
Indeed. Well, it wouldn't hurt to use an extra helping hand. So what can you do?
Her tail sort of like flicks out from underneath the cloak, sort of whips and goes back out.
Spade or freezer style?
Spade style.
Smoke tries to do the same with his tail.
Yeah.
Smoke tries and well,
He tries something similar with his own tail.
performance roll.
Also, what would a 15 on insight get?
17
15?
as he attempts to try to
what are you trying
copy
to
his
ascertain?
her movements with the tail.
Yep, so your
Pro-cult, anti-cult.
Clicks.
She doesn't seem to be pro-cult.
Because the last time I saw a person with sort of white skin, not pure white skin, but like, lighter skin with like black on their face, he wasn't even a devil. We got attacked. So, just trying to work that out.
That's a fair call. I got stabbed. You'd think I'd try to figure that out, but
No.
You would also notice her hair is like so blonde it's almost white, and she has it in a tight braid that sort of extends down her shoulder, and it goes from the blonde white to black at the tips.
Oh, she has braided hair. That's different.
Yeah.
that changes everything.
It really does.
Yeah.
Like the braids change everything.
Yeah.
Especially over the shoulder.
Yes.
She's not bald. Oh my god.
So you're all standing there in this sort of tense stare down, trying to work out what each other's intentions are at this bathhouse.
Well, a mild amount of shock, but yeah.
Well, you can all call me Sarisa.
So
You are?
Clary.
Smoke.
Raz?
So what did you find out?
Well,
I assume that's a familiar. You seen much?
I'm currently waiting to find out your name.
Okay. So what have you found out?
Well, not your name.
His name is Professor Montebank. Just get on with it.
There are cultists here.
One of those academic types.
Indeed.
Oh yes.
Getting the strangest sense of deja vu right now.
She floats. She sort of like just waves her hand, and her hand is suddenly just wreathed in this faint black shadow that extends out in a spectral version of her hand in front of you to like shake it.
Is that good magic?
Checking your intelligence score.
It's just like that hasn't really super relaxing.
He's just like pouring at the shadows behind it, like figuring out what it is, how it works.
Sort of just floats there, and as you're waiting, as you're not shaking it immediately, it turns and does this.
I try to cast a spell you recognise as Mage Hand and I fail.
Wow.
I rolled a natural one and I get a check.
Do I recognise the hand movements you're making for Mage Hand so that I can save you from this embarrassment?
I would assume so.
I will save you from this embarrassment and cast my own Mage Hand where you were trying to cast yours. It's actually visible this time, my god.
Very well. Well then, if we are all here on the same agenda, I must say that to answer your question, I have only just gotten here.
Very well.
Well, all we know is that there's a bathhouse and cultists in it, and not much more than that.
Well,
so.
there's a lot of water inside.
Yes, it's a bath.
It won't be deep, probably. Probably?
That's
about an of deepness.
There'll be steam rooms and things like that, and rafters and.
You'll be able to get around without touching the water. He doesn't, perhaps predictably, he doesn't like water that much.
Very well.
No, yet Eldath is all about the water. An internal conundrum that is still yet to solve.
Very well.
Oh.
How good are you at being quiet, I wonder?
I'm not too bad at it.
Because I feel like my best bet is coming in on the stealthy approach.
Usually is, yeah. I'm pretty good at it these days.
Let me check how long past that trace lasts.
10 minutes, I think, or an hour.
Up to an hour.
Yeah.
It requires concentration though, so I won't be able to cast a duplicate or like anything else while I'm doing it, but...
It'll be fine. Probably.
The question is, do we want to go into the bathhouse like patrons and then explore from there, or do we want to sneak in immediately?
You've seen people, you've been watching for a little while, you've seen people come and going pretty casually. It looks like a fairly normal bathhouse.
The front door is always the simplest and best option. Besides, it is not like this place is necessarily too shady.
On the surface level, at least.
Well, of course.
I cast a spell and I shift and look like an elf. Sorry, I shift and become an elf.
Ooh, alter self.
Not self.
Ooh.
You now look like an elf.
Doesn't look like me.
I was like, oh yeah, I was about to say an elf version of yourself where you just like grow your ears out.
And then, realising my robes are now going to trip me out, I shift back to a human who doesn't look like me.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. I mean, it works for him. I guess.
Eyes just widen as this happens.
I didn't realise you were like Ruse.
No, it's just a spell.
Oh, it's magic.
I mean,
I guess it was
You
magic.
have seen me do something similar before, haven't you?
I don't think so.
Yes, when we were first coming up to
That's
the
right, yes. Once.
this does last only a certain amount of time.
In we go.
Let's go.
So you enter through the gate to an L-shaped courtyard. Very well manicured lawns and shrubs. Some white marble benches and a couple of fountains with dryads pouring water into the fountain. See it circular.
This place is fancy.
A large white marble building stands before you with red curtains. That's the entrance to the bathhouse.
I don't think I've ever been in a place that's so white before.
In
So
all
very
my travels.
marble. No.
You see the blue veins running through as well of quality marble.
It is magnificent.
Well, why don't we stop gawking and head on in?
Oh yes, of course. I'm sure this will be a marvellous visit if we were
This is where your
to about it.
adventuring is to be done.
Yeah. Through the curtains.
Back the red curtains and into the bathhouse. You see a lot of large red lanterns hanging from the ceiling, casting a soft light across it. Inside the doorway there are a couple of silver bowls. You see a handful of coins in there where people have obviously come in and paid. Ahead of you, you see a number of baths and a fountain in the middle. And at the moment, you only see 2 men relaxing in the bath. But beyond that, you see a couple of doors that seem to lead off into other rooms in the back corners.
A gold coin in for all of us.
Yeah, you hear it clatter and the sounds absorbed by the large red curtains hanging throughout the bathhouse. Trickles of water.
Would have been good if we had got more information from, what's her name? I've forgotten now.
What is her name?
Serena.
Yeah.
About the actual location within the bathhouse, but all she told us was the bathhouse.
Yeah, she wasn't exactly forthcoming either.
But you are looking for a hidden door, are you not? So thick. Where would one be hidden?
I was going to say, you said you had something for that, didn't you?
It has very limited range and can only be used a few times a day.
Oh.
I'm going to start going just into back rooms and then just sort of, if they're empty.
There's 2 back rooms.
Yep, I'll go to the
Left or right?
left one will do.
I feel like it doesn't make sense to split the party. Yeah.
I'll go to the left one. Is it empty?
So you push back the curtain, you see a table set up with white towels laid across it, a bowl of flower petals and oils, and you see a fairly androgynous person standing with a bald head, earrings, wearing a white robe. They sort of turn their fingers and bow to you. Welcome.
She'll sort of nod her head back and go, sorry, I was looking for a place with a bit of privacy.
Oh, well, you can get a massage here.
Oh, now, that does sound quite tempting, but unfortunately, me and my friends here are looking for something else right now.
Smoke asks for a massage.
Very well. Lie down on the table.
Smoke climbs up onto the table.
2 copper pieces, please.
Smoke directs Hawk to take 2 copper pieces out of pouch and hand them over.
They walk across and drop it into the bowl.
I assume this is
coins.
a animal-friendly bathhouse.
Yes, of course. I am Jabaz.
I am not.
Comes over and starts massaging. Gets some oil and starts rubbing it under the fur.
I'll say
Very relaxing. Seems like a consummate professional, like very good at it.
I presume that we've left the room at this point, being just like, Smoke is very controlling.
Entirely up to you.
Oh, well, I
Jabaz
definitely
doesn't
have.
seem too worried.
He's not, doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to anyone else, does he? Do that.
He's busy doing his job.
I've like Homer Simpson memed myself.
I'm just gonna sort of go around the room and sort of
Quick sneaky investigation check.
like admire the architecture.
Yeah.
Roll your investigation.
I've gone outside and instead
My familiar will give me the help action as well.
Yeah, that is a 21.
Yeah, no, that's only a 13.
You're both looking around. You cannot pick anything that puts this aside from a regular bathhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. We shall leave you to it. Smoke. And Sirius will exit the
Yeah,
room.
I'll take my leave.
Yep.
Not in there anyway.
Not that I could see. Shall we try the next?
I believe so. I guess Smoke will join us at some point.
Well, we can go and get him. Does anyone else want to
Smoke just calls out, harder.
Have a happy ending.
offer themselves for a massage if the other room is the same?
Raz is mostly distracted looking around at the inside of the building, just like, it's such a shame that cultists have made their home here.
She'll walk up and just grab your hand and just start leading you towards the next room and go, why have a candidate?
I've already walked into the next room.
Yeah.
So as you're walking around dragging, the professor walks in and you see quite a beautiful woman with long golden hair. Greetings and welcome. Are you here for a massage?
Well, I actually would like to know a little bit more about this bathhouse. I've only just walked in and you're the first staff member I've seen.
Oh yes, there's not many, just the masseuse.
Are there lockers, change rooms, places I can store my equipment while I'm bathing? Is quite a staff, put some people off.
Oh well, usually people only bring what they need here.
Well, I didn't feel like walking down to the bathhouse and oh, hello guys.
Trying to
Perfect.
A towel.
We have a candidate for a massage.
A what?
Very well. Your belongings can be stored in the lockers at the front. The wooden doors lining the front wall.
Oh, thank you. I turn around and walk off.
You get out and you find some sort of tall, narrow cupboard doors. You open a couple and find some belongings in there. But you do find a few empty ones as well.
Cool. I'd like to investigate those belongings.
Yep.
I'm going to investigate the room that Raz is in while Raz is getting himself.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yeah, no, not this time.
10.
You see that there are a set of nobles' clothes, no weapons. You're looking around, you see two men sitting in one of the baths. You would assume it's their belongings.
Cool. Are there towels here?
Not here, no. There are some neatly stacked around the bathhouse in a couple of choice locations.
Cool. I would like to store all my equipment, except my hat,
Yep.
and then get a towel.
So he walks out with just a hat and towel.
Maybe while this is going on, Smoke would like to strike up a conversation with Jabez?
Buzz.
Oh my god.
Smoke compliments him on his name first and foremost, and
Well, thank you.
so Jabez.
Buzz
Jabez. Sorry, it's going to take a while to get used to that one.
starts getting his elbows in and working his spine.
Oh. How do you like working here? You must meet a lot of interesting folk.
Yes, I'll be honest, usually I don't do much talking to them. But I'm happy to entertain you if that's what you wish.
Does
Smoke wish?
Smoke rolls insight on that?
It's in the tray.
23.
You feel like this massage is kind of sending you half to sleep. You're spacing out. You figure people probably just zone out a lot.
Okay.
Not what we
You're
thought.
feeling very relaxed. All your muscles are going softer.
Look, did I come in? How long have I been on your table?
About 10 minutes now.
I swear I came in with people.
Yes, your friends left the room about 8 minutes ago.
Oh. Are they still my friends?
I suppose that's up to you.
Well, look, as much as I've enjoyed your company, and if you should ever need a lesson in Eldath, I'm your cat. I'd best be off.
Very well. The appointments are an hour if you want to take advantage. But you're welcome to leave any time, of course.
Smoke doesn't know how to react and just slowly attempts to sleepily, just attempts to get off the bed in his groggy state.
Yep, Jabal stands back. Bows to you as you get ready to leave.
Look, don't make this harder than it has to be. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Very well, good day.
I'm very glad Kip's not here for this because he'd just abandon you guys. Oh, this is lovely.
Is there any sort of writing equipment down, like around the room?
There is a ledger
Okay.
corner which is obviously used for keeping
Yeah.
tab of the money that comes in.
Smoke writes down the address of the HQ and says, if you ever need help, I may or may not know some people.
Was that the wrong roll?
Yes, that's probably a good
Roll
thing.
persuasion.
It's probably a good thing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's even without the hat.
Unnatural 20.
Ooh.
Thank you for your patronage. I would recommend coming during business hours only. Good day.
A single tear rolls down Smoke's cheeks and he walks out.
What was the address?
I'm sure
that's
that's exactly what actually just happened.
So investigating the other room while Raz is getting him a
I rolled
salad.
like a 6, so.
I rolled an 18.
The rolls have changed.
I imagine getting comfortable enough to actually get this massage was a process.
Oh no, Sarissa just stares you down until you accept it.
Oh, Jesus.
Is there another carbon copy of J-Buzz?
No.
No, she's like a woman this time.
Yeah.
Shave
Blonde
us.
hair from memory.
So she dips her hand in the oil and starts massaging you.
Okay. Is this like a regular massage table with like a hole for where your head is?
Yeah. Yeah, covered in a fluffy white towel.
Right. Yeah. So while this is happening, can I just be like investigating the floor? Mm-hmm. See if there's like. I may as well be useful since I'm here.
Yep. You see a slate floor beneath you.
Slate.
Oh, it's
you
stone.
say?
Are you sure it's like guys?
Manufactured slate at least.
Oh god. But it's like one solid piece. It's not. There's no.
There are tiles.
Okay.
So tiles of slate that are manufactured. And they're sort of a little bit uneven with some ridges through them.
Alright.
Looks quite expensive.
Yeah, that has satisfied my curiosity for now.
So I had religion checks about this cult before. I think I did pretty well. Do I know any signals such as, I have no other character, there's the Baal hand signal, I think it's that. I'm sorry, the Bane hand signal.
What was your religion check?
I got over 20 under that.
You'd know what the symbols are.
Cool. I with a towel and a hat. Looking pretty buff. I've cast Order of Elf, so big and jacked.
A bit cultisty.
Yeah. I walk up to the two people there and I just sort of go, I think it's mind if
They're sort
I
of talking.
just mind if I join you and sort of do that hand signal.
Oh jeez.
Get stabbed.
My.
I think we're just finishing up, thanks. All yours. They get up and sort of...
Oh, no need to that. I'll head elsewhere.
Okay. I think we're done. Thank you. You can have this one if you like.
Thank you.
You just scared some people out of a bath. That's what you did.
Turns out they knew what the symbol meant.
Well, actually, I was going to roll an insight to see if I could work out.
If they're afraid of it or sort of. 13
to try to get it.
A read on why
They knew what it was and they don't want to borrow it.
Yeah.
What was your insight?
13.
Yeah, these just look like normal bathhouse patrons who probably have some idea of cultist activity, and if they've seen it, they don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
So I sort of puzzling for a moment. They probably get too far away from me to really do anything.
As that's happening, Sarissa, after going around the room, will walk back out and see the gentleman leaving and go, gentlemen, leaving so soon. I was just about to join you.
Oh, we've been here for some time. I think it's best we head off now. They rush over to the lockers and start going.
Can I roll an insight check on that? See why they're leaving?
Yeah.
Being that I don't know what's happened.
What did you get out of that investigation check before in the room?
I don't know. Did we get anything out of that?
Which room? The massage room?
Yeah,
the second one that Raz was in.
Yeah.
Because you rolled what, like an 18 or
Yeah,
something?
an 18.
18 investigation. The only thing you notice is there seem to be a lot more, like the stones in here seem more worn than the other massage room. Like people come here more often.
Yep. Not tracks. Can imagine why. Insight was only a 10.
They seem scared. You have no idea what of. They seem in quite a rush to leave after looking quite relaxed moments ago.
I'm just going to look over at the buff gentleman in the bath.
Someone probably farted in the bath.
Was that that brown dog? No.
Was that our Chinese?
I'll just walk over and go, well, did you happen to get anything out of them?
They recognise the cult symbology, but are not a member of it. I believe now there are only 2 staff members present in this whole place, so we can do a proper search.
Well, then I guess we may as well get to it.
Absolutely. Well, Raz is just like having this.
Yeah, he's just like, this is nice, I guess,
I
whatever.
mean, you've been stabbed multiple
So many
times.
times.
In the last
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, there's just like various stab scars all over his back. It's fucking awful.
Has Smoke caught back up to the rest of the group?
Yeah. Yeah, if you left early, you'd be probably out in the bathhouse while they're staying there talking.
Well,
Cool. Sees Raz's relaxed state. Oh, it was good, no?
I'm not with you
No,
guys.
he's
I'm.
still having the massage.
Yeah.
You could probably peek through the curtain and see him getting this. They didn't seem to have a problem with you being in the room together.
Which is weird.
Professor. To me. So, Professor, if you're already in the water, do you want to perhaps check out the bottom?
I'm not in the water. But I will.
You're dressed in a towel, are you?
Oh, yes, I mean.
You're prepped for it.
Save me getting my feet wet.
I look down through the water. and the floor.
Yeah.
With my blind sight.
Yeah, you see underneath there does seem to be some sort of cavern that's filled with water.
Mm-hmm.
You see some light bubbling coming from the water. You see some vents around the side as the water's pushed in and it's obviously draining out underneath. Roll an insight check.
12.
The cavern that you can see underneath or feel underneath with your blind sight could just be the overflow.
Oh. They're using Neverwinterian styled heating systems. Interesting. I will check the walls. If we can have a look around and find the most likely places for a secret door, I can use the wand.
Yeah.
But I can't just use it everywhere. It'll run out quickly.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to just do it once around the room, the doors, carpets, all that kind of just the whole shebang. Yep.
There are no carpets. There are quite a few large red curtains hanging. Some tapestries on the wall of bathhouses and fountains.
Yeah, I'm going to check out all the walls within
do a
investigation.
Yep.
Any chance my blind sight gives me advantage?
Not in this.
Only an at 20.
21 investigation.
19 total.
Yeah, all of you start looking around. You cannot find anything. This looks like a bathhouse. Nothing unusual about it, really.
Well, there was something of interest. The other room seemed to have more wear. That could either mean that she is much more popular, or that perhaps there is more movement in down there if you have something that you want to try out and find something.
Or the opposite. I mean, those people seemed positively afraid of the cult.
Or that J-Buzz is what, male? And people have a thing against males massaging them. Perhaps if people got to know him a little bit, they might realise he's actually a fantastic masseuse.
I'm sure that he is.
Good.
That's why.
Felt like I needed to say that.
That's why you're out there and Raz is still getting massaged.
There are two of them. I can use some spells and influence them to tell us what they know. Or at least show us what they know.
I'll be back in a moment. And I'll go to the locker room and essentially, just get rid of all my equipment, store it, essentially just completely strip down, and then walk back out. But that would take me a minute.
Is that an idea which you...
I think we should explore that idea. I mean, the question is, I feel like if something is being used as a cultist base, surely then the one more used might be the entrance if it's getting more foot traffic.
Very well. I'll get a massage there and I'll use the signal and I'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
With Smoke seeing Belvedere in his hat, his glorious hat, remembers the item that he has and goes to find his equipment wherever it may be stored and rummages around until he finds this hat and pictures himself as like a as a spellcaster he already is.
Like a spell slinger.
A real spellcaster.
As a spell slinger. And he rummages around till he finds the hat and puts it on, and just being so has all this respect and sense of awe whenever he's around Velveteer in his hat. He just really wants to be like him. So he puts on the hat.
You feel something magic starting to attune to you. Which takes an hour, as you know, with magic items.
Alright, I'll walk in. Actually, I'm sorry, you stripped naked for some reason?
Oh, yeah, no, I was...
So it's a reason. It's a bathhouse.
Exactly, it's a bathhouse. So I was going to take a bath. I was going to try dive in and swim around underneath.
It's not that long, it's literally a bath. You could stand up to your neck in the deepest part.
Yeah, I was going to just see if there's anything under the water. I can hold my breath for like 5 minutes. So I'll just go down and spend about 4 minutes just making sure.
Roll investigation if you like.
Yeah, sure. Al won't be able to help me, so that's going to be...
I can give you guidance.
I mean, I won't say no.
D4.
Have a D4.
That's cocked. Weird. So that's going to be a 12.
Yeah, you swim around it just once again. Maybe it's not even right, like maybe you've got the wrong information because there's nothing strange about this place. It's exactly what you'd expect a bathhouse to be.
There were the nymphs on the fountain, right?
Dryads.
Dryads. I feel that... Let me double check.
I didn't say dryads.
In the book it's nymphs, but I changed it.
Glorious.
That'll be it, yeah.
So now I'll call you out for metagaming.
Well, no, because we had that information in the arena.
If you were guiding me, you would notice that the chain tattoos start from the underneath the band and go down around the arms, down the back, and around the legs in a similar fashion to the arms as well.
I might just sit down on the edge and like put my toes in the water, like take off my shoes, put my toes in the water. So what's with those tattoos? The
So
tattoos.
she comes up for air.
The tattoos. They're quite curious.
Oh, well. Something I was born with.
Okay.
Part of the heritage.
Ah, I see. It's fascinating. I mean, chains usually imply enslavement of some kind.
Well, they can. Or they can imply other things.
Such as?
Well, wouldn't you like to find out?
Well, yes, that's why I'm asking.
She pretty much just...
Directs the question.
Yeah, oh no, she just like stands up and walks back to her gear.
Alright.
You'll
As
hear a
she says
soft
that.
hum start. Very musical. It seems to be coming from the room where Jabaz was.
Is it a
Getting
song
on
of longing for his friend Smoke?
I'm gonna go have a listen. Out of curiosity.
It's very
Also my owl into
very soft and musical and sort of hums and rings a little bit.
My owl's perched on your shoulder, by the way.
Okay.
Just sort of looks at you. Looks back.
I want to go investigate that music.
So you walk up to the curtain. You see that Jabaz is sitting there with a small metal bowl with a stick, running it and rings around it, and his eyes
Hands to
closed.
bed in a singing bowl kind of thing.
Yep, and he's meditating.
I won't disturb the meditation for now, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. Or just an ear out for it.
So I walked into the other massage
You
room.
see Raz there looking very blissed out.
Well, which reminds me, anyone who was in the room when he started getting massage also saw the fucking terrible state of his back.
I mean, Clara's not surprised given the amount of time that she's
Yes,
used
that,
to
yes,
but
exactly. Yeah, no, Raz isn't paying attention.
Welcome.
Sorry to interrupt you just a second. How many times have you been stabbed in the back?
Stabbed, scratched, slashed at more times than I care to count.
Sorry, we were recently come to here. We've been told to ask for the special. Do the hand signal.
She looks blankly at you, but you see a flicker of fear in her eyes. I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
I suggest that you tell me about the cult and how to reach them.
What's the save?
15? Yeah.
15? She just sort of looks at you and says, at night, after sundown. I'm sorry?
I've shifted back to my normal shape form as well. It's all the self-concentration, as is suggestion. Very well. Do not worry, we will not say anything about you. We're not their friends. No, just one rep.
She stops inside you. So I'm afraid appointments are closed for today.
Huh? Oh, well, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So look out. Look up to...
You just put his shirt back on and wander out.
Yeah. As you do, you see her walk across the room to her little station with her oils and petals. She reaches into the flower petals and pulls out a small stone, and you see her whisper into it and put it back into the flowers.
Apparently, the after dark is when we should be here.
ah,
A robe. Start putting it back
Watching-
on.
it's time for a stakeout.
Watching the other Sergeant G, can't remember his name.
J-Boss.
J-Bus.
Jabaz.
Does he look like he's receiving a message or anything like that?
He seems completely
Just
committed.
No, I guess that's
No worries.
Had you grabbed your equipment by then? And, like, clothed yourself?
I'm clothing myself while I'm watching through my owl.
Oh, right. Got it.
Yeah, because the owl's on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Cool and good. Cool and good. I did have reason to freak out, now I don't.
Yeah, no, I'd be dressed by now. It only takes me a minute or two. It's not 10 minutes like Kai.
fucking guy.
No, just trying to get quite familiar.
Yeah.
So it's probably an hour or two now to sundown.
An hour or two, you say?
Towards sundown, yes.
Do you mention the sandstone?
Oh yeah, I'll sort of like casually mention that the masseuse spoken to us for some reason. It was hidden amongst her other stuff.
That might be one of those sending stones. She may be involved.
A what now?
Sending stone. It's like the sending spell.
Essentially, it allows you to. She just appears behind you. Essentially, it allows you to speak with someone over a long distance.
That's what I was after. Thank you.
Like the sending spell.
Correct. There is
So
a
it's
spell
almost
that
like
allows you to do
message, but
that.
better.
Correct.
Those bits of information were the bits I was after. Simple.
Sorry, I thought you were knocking a caster.
Yes, but not of that variety. I'm better at stabbing things than I am at casting things.
Hey?
Let's not talk about that.
I imagine. Well, I imagine with all those scars on the back, you would learn from experience.
See, she gets it.
All of a sudden, all the bubbles in the water stop, and the water goes completely still, and the fountain stops, and it goes quite quiet, other than the singing boy you can hear from the other room.
Well, now that's quite disappointing. I was enjoying that water for a bit.
So you've practiced the sword falling on a person, maneuver on yourself.
No, I imagine it has been done on him before.
No, that was mostly improvised. As were most of these, in fairness.
That's very impressive. Well, not so much then. But it's that time you held onto that guy's sword while it was stuck in you and stopped him from stabbing anyone else.
Yes,
That's impressive.
that was the intention entirely. Yes.
Well, you're more of a man than I thought. Then she's just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Head over to you.
So all the water is just still now. Yes.
And the
awful.
sound of the fountain stopped, you just hear the singing bowl coming from the back of the bathhouse.
So the fountain's like the water stopped completely.
Yep.
Does
Well,
it look like the
somebody
water's
else
starting to drain, or is it just?
Not just sitting still.
Seems like closing down for the evening.
Indeed. Well,
Now, would it be better to hide in the bathhouse or outside it near it?
It,
would depend on where the entrance is.
I'd
I
say
imagine.
how many hiding places can we spot?
There's
Just
a lot of curtain and tapestries hanging around.
if we can start off inside, I see no reason not to.
I imagine this is where the entrance is.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. Who would be the worst at stealth?
Anyone with heavy armour?
I don't want to say anything
Surprise.
bad, my lady, but your shield tends to
Unfortunately.
make a lot of noise when you walk.
I apologize
It has
for the
done.
last time. On the other hand, unfortunately, such is the way of the trickster. I cannot help myself in this instance, but I can aid others.
I should be fine at hiding.
I'm fine.
Well, you say that.
I was excellent at hiding.
He seems so trustworthy when he says that.
Do you have a shield as well?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe you do.
Well, I
Yes.
believe your fellow shield bearer will benefit the most.
That is fair
Yes.
enough. Alright. Blessing of the trickster on smoke.
Yep.
So you get advantage on all stealth rolls.
Excellent.
You better stealth.
Oh boy.
Alright, yeah, I guess we're hiding inside.
Yep.
Everyone roll stealth for me.
I'm
Before
casting guidance on myself.
before Sarissa goes in hiding, you see her place her fingers on the leather band around her neck, and her eyes just sort of close, and you see sort of just these black veins sort of sprout from the corners of her eyes, and there's this sort of like this spectral sound of chains rattling against each other, and you would notice that the chains around her arms seem to just move. The chains underneath her band seem to just pour down her body and wrap around her arms and legs and her torso, and they seem to form almost like this faux armor of such. And then the rattling fades away, and then the chains sort of just disappear. And then as she casts Mage Armor on herself, and
Fascinating.
then she finds a hiding.
Yep.
Raz was happily not distracted by that and rolled a 24.
Rolled a nat 20.
Also rolled a 24. You scoundrel.
24. 18 plus 3.
With advantage from the familiar, that would have been a 29.
Right, so
Nice.
what did everyone roll?
With advantage.
24.
With advantage, 17.
Yep.
Not bad.
17.
Yep. So you just appear behind some curtains, behind some
Hide behind a
tapestry.
tapestry, like.
A large chaise lounge, you can just duck behind there. And you wait. Some time passes, and eventually you see a man with sort of cropped, shoulder-length black hair walk in wearing a red doublet, big leather boots. You see him just stride in and walk straight past the baths and into the second massage room where the woman was. You never asked her name.
The owl sort of is just sort of like, if there's no one else around, it's just the one sort of just there and popping its head and watching.
Yep. Roll stealth for the owl.
Yep.
I look through the wall.
Natural 20.
Yep.
Nice.
23.
So the owl watches this man go into the room, and we'll get a break and we'll find out what happens when we get back. So stick around, we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Only good things, sure.
Hello and welcome back from break. That's all. Alright, so
Hello, Cody.
Well, no, we're gonna yell at you before the camera goes on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a pressure-filled
I
situation.
get that reference.
so you see the man in the red doublet disappear into the second massage room. You hear the grinding of stone, and then it stops.
What does the owl see?
Where is the owl?
What
At the door, watching.
Sees the stone door open and close.
Glorious. Does the owl see what the person did to make that door open?
No.
Okay.
The owl saw the person walk up to the door and it just said to open in front of them, then close behind them.
No worries.
Is the masseuse still in there, or is it just that one cultist that just went?
I say, yeah, do we ever see the masseuse come out?
She still seems to be there. You see the owl sees this.
Okay. Do you relay this information to us?
I wait for 2 minutes. If no one else comes in, then I relay that information.
Yep.
Alright.
And then I just sort of step into the room again quietly and just sort of
Yeah, just kind of slink out of the
not going to yell at you guys.
We'll just emerge.
Yeah, just kind of slink out
Quietly.
of the
I'll send the owl to the main entrance to keep an eye out as well if anyone else decides to come through. Yeah, I'll go. Well, there appears to be a stone door that automatically opens.
So it's figuring out what triggers it.
As a note, the masseuse is still in the room, and she happens to have one of those sending stones.
It could attempt to charm person. It could go very badly.
I have a scroll of friends that I've been holding on to for a very long time now.
That could work.
That could work, yeah. Yeah.
Well, how do we want to play this?
Perhaps we use the scroll of friends, and then if it backfires horribly, well,
I'll try charm person and we'll see what happens.
And I can always do a few things through my owl.
Are they murdery things? Because I would rather we didn't
What's
murder
your
it.
owl's name, by the way?
It does not need one. It is an extension of myself. It will respond to my name.
Good to know.
So,
But then doesn't that get confusing when both you and the owl are in the same room at the same time?
no, it is an extension of me.
Okay.
I am not an extension of it.
Fair point.
What is the plan of attack?
I prefer a plan of defense.
Why did everyone come over here? I've been behind that tapestry for ages.
I think Belvedere is putting on some sort of performance.
I think that, well,
We were right about there being a trapdoor in that room.
there is.
Knew it.
But,
Which is why we're right.
but the masseuse with the sending stone
Put
is still
it on
there.
some sort of performance.
Would you happen to know how many times this stone can be used per day?
As much as it needs to be. But it's okay, because we can take the settings stone.
Do you want to try
And the
that?
masseuse is still
How
in
about
there.
we have a plan of a friendly approach, and failing that, a charming approach.
Perhaps
And
I...
failing that, we get a certain rogue to perhaps knock this masseuse's ass with the back of a dagger.
Now that's just spoiling the fun.
And preceding that, I am now skilled in the art of masseusing.
Excellent.
Perhaps I could offer her... Perhaps I could offer her a massage. Like, how often does she massage people, but not get one herself?
Daily, I would assume.
See now, that is exactly the kind of approach you can use with your family approach. After all, the spell
Wait, should we
friends.
still have American accent?
I don't... Wait, what? Is this... What? Clary, I don't know what you're...
Do you mean what partner?
That fourth wall. It's got to stay up somehow.
Look.
I'm
working on it!
You only have to do it if you're trying to use a +3 to charisma.
Well,
Wait, so
like
what's
that.
that too?
Yes, yeah. He's literally about to though. This is great. Alrighty, so yeah.
but I'm not aware of the effects
Correct.
of it.
Not just when you're trying to sort of persuade someone, it just kicks in.
Brilliant. Love it. He has a scroll. He needs to use said scroll.
By all means.
You can hear the singing bowl still going on.
Cool.
Wait, if I had the hat, I could multi-class as a warlock.
Two checks, but
Oh, damn.
Wall of checks.
Which means you'll need to select kick.
Oh my god.
Right, so what's everyone doing?
I'm awaiting Smoke to enact.
Yeah, I'm just like hidden behind the curtain, like just listening in.
I stride up to the masseuse. Well, I'm guessing I haven't put on my armor again, so I've just got the hat. I'm just basically mirroring Velveteer and everything so far.
Yeah.
So I've got the hat on, I've got a towel. Oh, I've got
What's your AC now?
my AC.
I did put my robe back on.
It's 11.
Oh, that's not
10 plus dex.
Yeah,
With shield.
I don't know.
Does he have a shield on him?
So
11.
11.
Smoke, just Smoke. Perhaps you should put your armor back on before you head in, just in case, like I've done with my robe.
Would that not seem suspicious, partner?
Well, partner,
Do I roll for persuasion then? Sweet.
Oh no, well, we're not trying to blend through. Like,
Go put your armor on down.
Oh, Smoke goes and puts his
Yeah, we're preparing for a fight, whether you like it or not.
I can see you standing there arguing. I'm going to get everyone to roll stealth again.
Fair enough. Do I still have advantage?
Yeah, you have
19.
advantage, yeah.
18. 16.
Despite all that talking, 22.
22.
Yeah, cool.
You're not allowed to chastise me now.
Smoke goes and gets his armor, then prepares,
Put your armor
and
on.
then comes back.
You're back with your armor.
Yep.
I'll just hide right behind where the curtain entrance is.
I'll have an invisible mage hand ready. For thievery of things.
Yeah, just waiting by the door, listening.
Well, Smoke unfurls the scroll of friends and activates it.
Reads it out.
Reads it.
And what does friends do?
Advantage on charisma checks against one non-hostile creature. On spell, any creature is aware becomes hostile. For 1 minute.
Except in my voice.
Becomes hostile is the terrifying
So
thing.
you have advantage on your
Charisma checks.
persuasion checks.
Yeah, which I've already got a +7 now. But if I can pull off,
Can't go wrong.
I mean, unless you could try and do it, then that's when it will kick in.
Yeah.
Especially if you're casting friends, you definitely try and persuade this person.
So what is the I just peek around the curtain, but what is the masseuse currently doing?
She seems to be attending to her oils and standing there. You see, she looks a little bit scared, and she's still looking around.
I stride in and say, "You need not be. You need
You're still
not,
here.
I am. It's a fantastic. It is a fantastic bathhouse.
You have to leave.
Why is that, partner?
Roll persuasion.
Oh shit.
Should we explain when we go home what this is about?
No, we're not telling them. It's
Watch the
funny.
VOD when it comes out, and you'll find out at the beginning.
It's a 19.
You have to leave. We close at night. The cultists come here. They're dangerous. You need to leave.
All the more reason for us to be here with you, partner. All the more reason for us to be with you, partner. And we are skilled individuals. We can protect you.
It's too far gone for that.
Then why are you still here?
It's either that or death. I choose to stay here and do my job.
I admire your courage, but if it is unsafe for you, so if it's dangerous here, how have you been left alone for so long?
Because I do what I'm told. It's either that or
Okay.
go to my home and be murdered in my sleep.
Cool. I am telling you that you need us to protect you.
Roll a persuasion.
Partner. Howdy, partner.
I basically, Woody.
Y'all need our protection here.
Y'all need some of that protection that we can offer.
Just to stay.
Is that protection
we
you're
got
talking
advantage.
about?
Protection, darling.
I know it's +3 on charisma checks, but
+3 plus advantage because you've got friends.
Oh yeah.
So friends gives you advantage on non-hostile.
Oh no.
Is that a 1 and a 2?
It's a 3 and a 2.
Oh boy.
wow. So that's a 10, though.
You haven't seen what they're capable of. I don't think you can help.
Oh, okay.
I'm like actually going to say
You're also here. You need to leave.
we have dealt with them before. Is this the singing bowl playing in the other room? Technically, I should also then get additional proficiency advantage on any persuasion checks.
Yeah. Go on.
Look, if you let us down there, we will do what we can to be rid of them.
Roll your persuasion.
Alright. 9 plus 6. 15.
I've heard one of them shut up dead. That was you then.
Indeed it was.
That was one. Also, they won't let me go down. I'm not with them.
How did they get down?
They're amulets.
Oh.
Amulets.
I'm just going to, as this is happening, I'm just going to sort of elbow Raz and go, why don't you take that sending stone from her?
Look, you have to leave. If they see you here with me, my life's as good as over, as are all of yours.
I'm going to just step forward and go, well, if you're looking for protection of sorts, there is many things that someone of my standing in the city can do for you.
I have protection from them as long as you leave me be.
Standing, you say?
That protection will not last the longer that we are here.
I'll cast Mage Hand and try to snag.
You see her eyes sort of cloud for a moment. She shakes her head. You cast a spell on me.
I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab the
You
sending
need to
stone
leave
from her.
now. You need to leave now.
What? Mage Hand to grab the stone? Yeah, that's what I said. That is what I said, to grab the sending stone with the Mage Hand.
Look.
That is invisible.
Look, partner. We are here to rid this bathhouse of cultists.
Do you mean the bathhouse?
Yes, I'm in a bathhouse. Better? I don't know.
Yes.
Slightly. At least the bow is slightly more correct.
You haven't seen what we can do, partner.
You need to leave now.
I think we should leave. We do not want to get this woman killed.
Look,
So at any point
She has
during
done her duty and forced us to fight. I say probably a touch louder than I need to.
Yeah. At whatever point when I've grabbed that sending stone, which I assume is still amongst her things.
Roll a d20 dex check.
Okay. 12.
You were told it was in a bowl of flowers. You've put your hand in there, looked around for it. Doesn't seem to have found it yet.
Right. Cool.
Is it too late for Hawk to assist?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to step forwards, and my hand is just going to wreath in this blue, blue flame, wreathed in shadow, the smoke just dripping from it. Just step right into her personal space and sort of like grab her.
What are you doing?
Grab the hand that I saw her use the sending stone and hold it down and hold the flames just right by her face and just go, trust me, these cultists will not protect you from us.
I point my quarterstaff at you.
Oh dear.
We should leave her alone.
Yes, listen to him.
I'm essentially trying to intimidate her into giving up.
Roll intimidation.
Oh jeez.
I can give you guidance if you want.
I'll take it. 23.
She's scared, but she's far more scared of these cultists.
Oh,
There's one of you, and there's probably a lot more than one of them.
There's more than me, but no one's backing.
Yeah.
Well, you've also got your
right.
teammates telling you to stop.
That is true, yeah.
She's looking imploringly at those ones.
I'm not backing down.
Oh jeez.
Look, if you want to make it difficult, you can call up those cultists here and then we can fight them here while you're safely outside the building, or you can let us in.
She doesn't have an amulet.
You see her eyes flash, and the singing bowl stops. It goes silent.
That bodes very well for us. I'm just going to find a spot to hide in here if I can.
I've cast message. I'd like to whisper to you. All you have to do is wait for another one to walk through and take that amulet. There's no point in getting this woman killed. Then I back away.
You hear some footsteps out in the main area.
just as a note, that flame is a held fireball action, a firebolt action.
Fireball!
I'll tell you about that one from 100 to 60 real quick.
I got still 90.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, is there an obvious place in here that I can hide from whatever is about to become very hostile to
The
us?
table, probably not here, no.
Damn it.
So I'm sort of in the main room.
Yeah, I'll
see
duck
people?
out.
You've stepped up? Yes.
I'll duck out.
You look up and you see a withered-looking old man with a long white hair and a beard. He's holding a chain with a skull with a blue crystal in it. He's got long robes, barefoot, just standing there. He looks up and sees you all.
She's told us we need to leave. We are leaving. We apologise for being here, sir.
Howdy, stranger.
Trying to make sure they all know that talking to someone.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah,
Get out.
I've already ducked out of the other room.
Yep, so you're in the main room.
Yeah.
You now see this man
He sucks.
telling you to get out.
I want to comply. I truly do. Are you complying?
I'm sort of no, basically. But
The short answer is no.
I
So
think
we
we
have
should,
an ambulance on him.
I think we should all come out here then leave. Now,
I agree with the professor.
So after hearing him yell, I'm going to release the firebolt, just dismiss it, just sort of.
That's
Sorry.
release it into our face.
No, I'm just gonna throw her down and just like stare at Sarah as she drops, and then turn around and
She
walk
goes
out.
straight to the corner and just sits there curled up.
Yeah, and just walk out to see this.
Do you feel something in your invisible hand?
Oh, fancy. I'm going to bring that out to me.
Yep. It's obviously a standing stone. It's got the sigils carved in it.
Cool. Just gonna like surreptitiously grab that and just like palm it off to myself. Yeah.
It's time for you all to leave.
What's the plan, Professor? Merkin?
You see him start swinging the skull and it starts glowing a little bit.
I say we should leave and do that job we were paid to do tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. So whenever it's convenient for you, we can go do that job.
As you're walking, you notice that there are coming in from the doorway. You can't see them, but in your head you hear a whisper. Seem to be two men approaching. There's a black hand across their faces.
I'm just going to put a hand on my crossbow. Get that ready. If initiative starts, I'd like to shoot the nearest person.
I don't think your friends who have just walked in invisible, or at least in the shadows, are going to let us leave. Which is a pity.
No, but this is your last chance to try.
Okay, I cast sleep.
Yep.
And the people at the door.
Yep. Roll your.
That's
action.
And
No, roll your
at this
D8.
stage, it's time to crit. Oh, don't
Oh, as a note, as I step out, my familiar just dabs out of existence and then sort of wisps in shadow on my shoulder.
40 hit points at the door.
40 hit points. Yep. You see them slump.
The two at the door are asleep. That's me done.
Shall we?
I'll say, would that count as initiative starting?
Yep.
Then I will shoot this dude. I will shoot this dude like I promised.
That's a good initiative.
Oh yeah, that's a hit. I think 14 to hit this dude.
Initiative first.
No,
You taking time to aim.
4.
Yeah, I'm pretty high.
Anyone
So
above 20?
23.
21, although I rolled a nat 20, I still get this.
Dex-based characters.
21?
Yes, but let the record state it was a nat 20.
Yep. 21.
19.
Yep.
Can Orc have an
16.
initiative?
Oh yeah, your familiar's not there.
Correct.
Familiars have their own initiative.
Alright,
If
so
it's
Rissa goes
not-
first.
Another nat 20.
I don't think
So Rissa goes first.
companions do.
What is Sarissa doing?
What is Sarissa doing?
Sarissa?
What would Sarissa do?
Well, also as a note, my owl has a initiative of 14. It acts on it independently of me.
All right.
Sarissa is going to two dudes have just thunk at the door.
You don't know.
I don't know. Never mind.
You get Tyrion call out that they have.
But two people.
Apparently there are two people asleep at the door.
Yep.
I'm going to assume it was the Dryads. Okay, so where is this guy in relation to me? I've just walked out the door.
He's staying in the middle of the bathhouse behind the main bath. He's about...
How far away is he?
He is... about 25 feet away.
25 feet. Alright.
Not out of range of anything.
Very correct.
Is he
Now-
standing just behind the water?
Sorry?
Is he standing just behind that pool?
He's standing near the doorway, but in front of the pool.
In front of it.
Alright then.
Possibly better.
I'm going to object interaction, draw my rapier. I am going to I'm going to hold my action to firebolt until my familiar flies up behind, and I'm going to cut up to use the help action, and that is what I will do.
Yep.
So I'm currently my hand just wreaths in that blue shadow flame again, and she sort of just sneers at the man drawing the sword and stepping into a very elegant looking, over the top stance. One sort of like 1 foot on its toe behind the other. Very kind of impractical unless you know what you're doing.
Yep. So
I mean, you're in
owl
heels, so technically
And
you
she is
are
in heels as well.
Your owl starts flying around, you draw your rapier.
Yep, and the owl is going to start flying up and on its turn it'll fly around. Because independent action.
Totally use your heels and use it as a weapon.
stilettos.
I'm just gonna. I think we could possibly learn a lot from this culture, so I'm gonna have a crack at hold person.
Yep. What's the save for that?
13 wisdom.
13 with save. Yep, you cast hold person. His eyes flash and he just freezes in place.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
Oh, we've been here
It's the
before.
best spell for a fighter.
But you feel it grip him tightly. You just see his eyes flash again and he just breaks the spell.
I spoke too soon.
And
Way too soon.
what's your AC?
Mine?
Smokes.
17, and if he's trying to attack me, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Because you got the Shield of Sanctuary, correct?
Also, I believe the save for whole person on his own turn is at the end of his turn.
Yes, but he rolled a natural 20. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let him.
Yeah, that makes
him
sense.
early.
That makes sense.
Before it gets even multiple whole person.
Yeah.
So what's your AC?
My AC is 17 if it's
And
passed.
wisdom check was
Again, 13.
13. Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully it fails that.
Did not.
You take 8 necrotic damage as he lifts his hand, and you see these claws extend out, and then they just shoot towards you and grip around your throat, and you feel your life force being drained.
Ooh, yeah. I know that spell.
With the Shield of Sanctuary, does the wisdom saving throw only come in for it once per opponent? Or is it every time they attack?
I believe it's every time they attack, because it's how the sanctuary spell works.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll work it out later.
Yeah.
What was your initiative?
19.
19. So he casts that, and then he brings his flail over and hits it onto the ground with a loud, echoing, cracking sound. You notice that the door sort of stir awake.
Oh.
That was a high level speed spell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially rolled all 8s.
But back to your turn.
I just sigh, I cast it again.
Excellent.
Professor Sleep.
It's like
44. They both fall back to sleep. They get a chance to stand up.
Excellent.
oh god.
Clary.
Alright, I am going to go ahead and you're going to see this kind of shadow emerge from me and run out. And that's me creating my duplicate, which is going to run and up and behind the cultist. And I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon, which I believe from memory is a D8. Let me double check that. Apologies. Yeah, so I'll need to make an attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, you dice. Ugh.
You dice who this?
Yeah, that's a 10.
To hit?
Yeah.
That does not hit.
Yeah, it doesn't hit, but we've now got the difficult off and it takes the scimitar.
Yep.
Well, I'm still kind of right near the curtain, so.
Which brings it to the owl.
Yep, so it's just flies around to the back of its head and then just starts clapping its wings over his ears to distract him to give me the help action for advantage on my held firebolt.
Yep.
That's a lot of words. Casting Eldritch Knights. There's a lot to them. It's probably going to hit. That's going to be a 23.
That was probably going to hit.
So that's 3 points of damage.
Yeah, you just unleash his fireball.
Yeah, the flame just hits probably his chest or something.
Yeah,
Not
so
that
it reaches
loud.
up and starts singeing some of his very tattered robes.
Burn.
Raz,
She says in Infernal.
Cool.
he seems to understand.
Oh, terrible.
Now he's injured.
Indeed. Because Toll is out of work now. I'm going to take that shot at him that I mentioned before.
Yep,
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, that's natural 20.
Roll damage.
Is he engaged with
How do you
Shadow
want to do
Cleric?
Well, wait, is he. Oh, yeah, because you're not in melee combat yet. But...
I'm not in melee, no.
Is the spiritual weapon?
Considering
for the
nothing
council?
actually hit, no.
Aw, dicks. Well, that's just 2.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Maybe these aren't quite so blessed after all.
2d6. 6 points of piercing damage.
6.
Oh, sorry. 8 points of piercing damage, my bad. I forgot my own dex.
Yep. Where the holes start burning his robe, you shoot through and it pierces into his chest and he coughs up a bit of blood.
Neat.
Which brings us back to Sarissa.
Alright. Sarissa's just going to... I don't actually need a description for that. Sarissa's just going to chuckle at him and she's essentially just standing completely still. Her eyes just go black and there's this sound of rattling chains in the air. They sort of just focused around him as I cast Toll the Dead. I need a wisdom saving throw from him, DC 14.
He fails.
So 1d12.
Nice.
That's unfortunate.
1 point of damage.
They hit the side of the tray. Does that mean you get
It's in,
What does your Toll the Dead look like?
So essentially, she just stands there, grins. As she does, her canines elongate ever so slightly because it's only a cantrip, and her eyes just go pure black. And there's just this sound of rattling chains that fills the air, focused around him, and it sort of just rattles his head, and all it does really is just make them want to die. It's necrotic damage, not psychic damage.
Only lost 1 point.
Yeah, it's necrotic damage.
I want to die, same as every day.
Necrotic damage, so it basically just destroys their brains.
Yep. Cool.
But 4. I thought that's 1 point.
Psychic damage did.
Smoke. He's looking very...
Psych destroys the actual brain.
Blood's coming out of his chest and his eyes
already.
are slightly inflamed.
Made his existing ones worse.
Did I
You
really
can,
waste like some of my top level stuff on like.
He could be pretty mentally bad.
He looks scary.
Besides, you can't see the arrow, the wound just opened more because it's under the burning.
Alright, what's Smoke doing?
Makes sense.
Look, stranger.
Oh no.
Look, you're clearly hurt. We have you outnumbered. Why not bow down to our might and end this?
Roll persuasion.
Oh my
and
god.
that's with
He's not trying to make friends with it. I'm shocked. He is still trying to diplomatize it though, so.
and that was
Diplomat, so.
Yeah.
not with advantage. Not with advantage, that was
No.
15.
He looks up, he's bleeding quite profusely. And he just kneels down and puts his head forward and goes, "Fine, finish it then. I'm done anyway."
Well, that was unexpected.
Smoke strides up and look,
We could get us access into the lair.
look, I am not one for ending life. I am not one for ending life, stranger. But If that is what your heart desires, we can make that happen, stranger.
Monbank. He's knelt down, offered his head out, and you see him bleeding from the chest still.
All we really need is his ears. If he promises to recant his ways. Yeah, I mean...
We need to get access.
True. If you get us past the door, your friend cultist will kill us all.
Are you killing me or not?
I'm not, he will. And the sleeping guy's over there.
I will.
You're right.
Gladly.
Let's find out.
Oh yeah, you are. Right.
Alright.
Oh.
Well, let's do Toll the Dead, and then I'll use my spiritual weapon if it doesn't work. So wisdom save DC.
Are you rolling damage even if he fails? Succeeds?
No.
Pardon?
Are you rolling damage even if he succeeds?
I wouldn't be.
If he succeeds the roll, you do roll damage.
No, because there's no damage dealt.
Roll your damage.
Okay.
Good point.
That's a 10.
Yep. Oh. So what does your Toll the Dead look like?
It's less strange and more like ringing of these kind of eerie, ominous tubular bells just kind of starting to go one after the other and just quicken into this kind of dull,
Cacophony.
like cacophony.
He starts quiet, he looks up at you with a bit of surprise in his eyes, and you see his chest just explode,
Yeah.
and he collapses to the ground.
Ugh.
Well, that was efficient.
Let's find the amulet, shall we?
There are the two over there.
I want to go look for him. Are we out of initiative or not?
Sort of.
Sort of. Well, I still got my spiritual weapon, so I'll slit the throat of one of the sleeping
Well, I was going to say, can we see them?
I was saying, have we even seen them?
You see
No.
this man stand up again, with his body on the ground, just a shadowy spectre, and you just see him sink into the floor and disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh.
Well, kill those ones. Perhaps drown them this time? You were pretty keen on that last time.
Too difficult. I'm just going to walk up and just stab one in the back of the neck.
Well, I've still got my bonus action to use my spiritual weapon to slit one of their throats, so.
You kill them.
I was like,
A challenge rating 1 quarter cultist.
I'm going to gather my bolt and I'll just trophies.
You see the same thing. You kill them, and you see sort of like a slight movement of shadow underneath them. They just sink into the ground.
Get some kind of religion check or something to
Yep.
get an idea of what's going on.
Do you have to be proficient for that? Or can I roll Arcana on that, maybe?
Make a religion roll. I'll get you to roll.
I'll give it advantage.
That's a 22.
That's going to be advantage, but...
All good.
With your big brain.
You've heard of cultists making pacts and becoming spectres after their death.
They've probably gone down to warn the others.
Oh, fair enough.
Spectres.
I'm going to turn the guy over and just search him, looking specifically for an amulet.
Which one?
The one that I killed. The cultist that I killed.
Yep.
Yeah. The one that I
Yeah,
walked
you
up
find
and
an amulet.
stabbed. Ah,
What's the window?
excellent. What else does it have on? Any gold or anything? I'm curious.
On the amulet?
No, on the cultists themselves.
Nothing. They're cultists.
Excellent. I grabbed the amulet anyway.
All the cold's gonna
body,
take
apart from the way that there's like an exploded chest.
Cult jewellery.
Is he heretical?
He seems to have a very strange looking flower, which is a human skull with a blue gem glowing that's embedded in this middle
I
of the
was going to
forehead.
have a look at that.
Actually, hang on to that. It might be... I mean, if we take it back to the flaming fist, I might be able to do something with it.
Yeah. As does it have a jaw?
Sorry? Yeah.
Does that have a jaw?
Not bottom jaw.
Damn it! I was going to get real macabre for a second there, but no, I can't now.
Alas, poor Yorick.
I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take that flail. I'm going to take my bolt.
Yep.
Well then, Shan, we have amulets.
Yes.
Amulets,
Let's go.
crossbow bolts, skulls. Nah.
There you go.
Oh my.
Alright, as we're about to get into the room to go down the door, I am... Actually, no. Once we get into the room and getting ready to cast it, I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace.
Oh, fancy.
Also, there's still a Duke that trailing behind for like another minute.
You should leave this place now.
Indeed. As I just wipe the blood away on my side floofy bit.
Raz is just like slightly bloody hands, just like holding a skull as well, just like. or you can stay if you wanted. I don't really care.
Please at least knock me out or something. Hurt me.
Okay.
We had the same idea. So whilst you were doing that, I was doing this with the flail.
I probably like feel like on the shoulders I like because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll use the flail.
I'll whack her in the skull with a skull.
You do 50 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, she dies.
You hit her with a skull and her head sort of hits the wall and she slumps into the corner.
We might want to
Check her pulse.
stabilize her.
She thinks...
If you insist.
unconscious.
She seems
I'm gonna walk to
unconscious.
the door.
Yeah.
I just ignore her and walk to the door.
Smoke goes and checks to see if J-Buzz is alright.
He's gone.
Like, gone?
Not there.
Guess who we just fought?
Oh, brilliant.
So we have amulets now. Can we try this door?
We fought
Alright.
J-Buzz.
And just as you try that door, I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace on everyone, so you see this slight sort of fog enveloping like your feet and the footsteps.
Glorious.
It tickles.
My
When you get within 10 feet of the door, you see it slide open.
Excellent.
Oh. I'm going to send my owl in 100 feet.
So have you vision?
No, but it has advantage on perception checks based on sight and hearing.
I'm gonna have a mage hand grab onto the foot if you are.
I might just, for the fun
just
of
follow
it,
along.
No, it's going to
send my Duke of it just running into the darkness.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Because it's about to expire anyway, so see what happens.
Disappears into
Just kind of
darkness.
hide inside and just send it down. Because it'll have like the mimics of illusion footsteps and sound.
If it's total darkness, then it'd be the hearing that the owl would be focusing on.
Yeah, here's a dripping of water. That's it. Everything's dark.
Oh, nobody has jumped out to kill my owl, so shall we?
Yes.
We shall.
You look a bit most roguish.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. You can go ahead of us because
I will.
I can, if you want, cast light on my shield and sort of cover it with my cloak to make it a sort of dim light rather than like fully.
I can see. We find
Velvedere, do you not have blind vision?
blind sight.
Blind sight.
Dude, you must be very naturally intuitive to know that.
Well, you did have in people in the darkness before, and the invisible person.
Well, I am a cat. I'm not unskilled in it.
And I did tell you about it earlier as well. I forgot about that off camera, yes, definitely.
Also that too.
Partner.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone
Have I
says
got
it
the
better.
arrow yet? Well, no, I don't think I have.
So,
Is everyone heading down?
Yes.
so stealthily,
Stealthily, of
indeed.
course.
Yeah, stealthily.
As you start heading down the staircase, the first thing you notice is just this stench of rotting flesh bloated in the water.
And that's unpleasant.
Indeed it is.
So 19 on stealth. Yeah.
Plus 10.
No, that's,
Oh, that's a 31.
that's a bit better.
27.
I'll see you on 19 and raise you 14.
Wait. Don't I?
Yes, you still have advantage.
Oh crap! That's one less. 18.
Yep.
That was the lowest I could roll without failing automatically.
25.
You all walk down into... Who can actually see at this point?
Yo!
Everyone?
Dark.
No.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who can't?
Wait, you're human?
Blind sight.
Blind sight though.
I'm the only one who actually can't see, so.
You're getting all of your information just from this earring, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it's just describing the
got
scene
this
in front of you.
My owl will be 100 feet ahead of us the entire time.
I just sort of hold on to someone's back and just follow
How
them.
much HP does your owl have?
Oh no.
Roll a dex save.
Always a good question.
I was gonna say Hawk joins, but after that.
You send it ahead into pitch black and it runs into a wall
It's fair.
and takes 3 points of damage.
Well,
Just a puff of feathers.
I guess we're down now.
What'd you do? He flew it into a wall.
Oh,
Or she did, sorry.
You can see sort of like a ripple where it shudders where it hit.
awful. Yeah, there's
I'm
just...
just
sort of
sit
just
quiet
hits
for a
him.
moment, see if anything like reacts to the sound.
Just the dripping of water, nothing seems to have reacted.
Okay.
Can I be searching for traps as we go along?
You can.
Cool.
Hawk will now now take up, like, in honor of the fallen owl. Hawk will go forward, but just gingerly. About what 10 feet. 10 feet in front of us.
Pitch black, it can't see, it's just kind of flying aimlessly. And then if it lands, it's in 2 feet of water.
Oh, we're walking through water? Damn.
Yeah, as you hit the bottom, water starts seeping up to just under your knees.
Awful. Oh, these were like sloshing around in water as well.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Luckily
it's still got really good.
Stealth,
The
yeah.
sound seems quite muffled around you as you do. It's a bizarre feeling.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Rogue,
Yeah.
do you want to do the honors?
Of going first? I mean, sure.
And making sure nothing will spring out and kill us.
Yeah. What do I roll to search for traps?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Can I assist?
I can give you guidance.
So I'm taking assistance and guidance. That's a lot of 9. So that's a natural 20 for 26.
Nice.
Oh.
Investigation, yes.
So you've got dark vision. You walk around. You start going right. It's a fairly large rectangular room, about 15 feet across by about 50 feet long. You notice a small passage that opens up to a smaller room. There's nothing at all inside, but you find there's a break in the stone. Obviously, a door is here.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you going to go there, or are you going to continue scanning this room?
I'm going to take note of the door, and I'm going to continue scouting this room.
Yeah, so you follow it back around, you find a passage that leads off to the south.
Yep.
From the same room.
Yep.
Other than that, the room seems empty.
Okay. Cool. I'll return to the party and say no traps in here, but there is a door over there and another passage over there.
I cannot see where you're pointing, but please be a little bit more specific with your directions, please.
Got
Go
it.
to the right, to the left.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah.
I would cast light, but I don't want to cause any additional attention at this stage.
What was the dog's official policy on going left every door, right every door? Most adventuring groups have one.
Oh, you're right.
We've never had one. We've never done anything.
Well,
I believe
the saying is torches on the right, you'll find your way home all right.
Yeah, but there are no torches, full stop, so...
Well,
If you keep going left, you'll eventually go right.
I mean, I do not
She's
care.
not wrong.
And also, I'm
go left.
left-handed, so...
I mean,
my preference would be to the left, being left-handed. But
there is a dead end to the right, it's worth mentioning. It's apparently nothing in there, so...
I've already started moving to the left.
Cool.
Okay, so
I'm like hanging on to you.
just to reiterate, you know there's a corridor, basically straight ahead of where you came in, and to the other side there was a small room with a secret door.
Oh, there's a secret door in the room.
You could see the crack with
Oh,
your
right.
investigation score.
So secret doors, though. Those are fancy.
That could be more
I feel like
interesting.
that would definitely be more interesting. Lead the way.
Agreed, yes. Alright, so I'll just guide them towards the secret door and find like the edges of it.
It is okay.
Smoke offers his shoulder to Clary.
Yep.
It's okay. I'll be alright.
Is there any obvious way of opening it? Am I going to just push this thing up?
Yeah, it's heavy, but you can push it and
Right.
slide it open.
Mm-hmm. And what is on the other side, friend?
You open up to a small alcove, and ahead you see another room. What you do see in the water, moving just slightly, now that you've opened the door and a bit of movement's happened, is a shirtless corpse face down floating in the water.
If I flip that over, is there a familiar hand symbol on its face?
Looking at him, it looks like a cultist of Baal.
They didn't say what kind of cultists we would have grabbed, but I'll take his ears.
Well, they did actually. It was Baal, Bane, and Merkel.
Yes.
Oh, that's bully for us, more ears.
Yep.
Did you take both of them?
Absolutely. I hand one of them to what's your face.
Me?
Yes.
And what on earth am I supposed to do with this?
Well,
Didn't you know? Weren't you hired on by the Flaming Fist?
No.
Then why are you here? What motivates you to raid a cultist?
Shall we say personal incentive?
Okay. How did you find out about it?
I have my connections.
What are those connections?
Incredibly valuable.
You said you were standing in the city. I don't believe I recognized you before now.
Well, that is fair enough. Perhaps you have not been through all of the city.
Okay, we can discuss this later. Suffice to say that if you hand that in to the Flaming Fists and say that you're with the Dogs of M.E.R.C., you'll get paid 200 gold just for saying that you were with us, and another 10 for the year.
How about you keep the ear for me?
That works too, I guess. Bag of holding.
So you're now standing in a small flooded chamber, knee deep in water with the corpse floating away. There's a small passageway ahead of you that you can see leads to another room, but you can't quite see what's on the other side because it's a very narrow passage.
Okay. I will lead the way in a stealthy manner.
I'll follow up behind.
Yep, so you head forward. Ahead of you, 3 wooden beams brace the ceiling of this flooded chamber. It has a stone altar covered with entrails that look human in the northeast corner. Hanging above these is on the wall is the 3-foot tall steel mask cast in the form of a frowning human skull.
I see.
Smoke prays.
Yep.
If you're gonna do that, I stop you. Like, I won't actually get in your, like, touch you, I'm just like, stop.
You notice a small, what looks like a potion bottle with a clear liquid that looks like water sitting next to the entrails spread across the altar.
Which one's that?
Which one's...
The mask?
Yeah, I was about
Which
to.
one is it? Roll a religion check.
Yeah.
I can't see it, so.
Yeah, as he does it, I was like,
Is there any lighting in this room, or is it
19.
still completely pitch black?
Completely back.
Yeah.
Cool, I don't see anything.
That's Paul.
That's an altar of Baal. They're here to kill their cultists. Actually,
I'm
Baal
not
probably...
praying to Baal, I'm praying to Eldash.
Oh, very well then.
Using what?
That's a better idea.
Yeah.
You are in water. How are you doing?
I am?
2 feet of it.
I'm okay.
You're getting better, you're improving, you're getting there.
This is a big step. Yes.
This, that is fair enough. This little bottle. What
Smoke just splashes.
do we think is in it?
What does it look like?
Excuse me, I'm proficient in such things. I
Christian Arcana?
Oh,
Because
yes.
me too.
I pick it up. So,
You ain't.
altar of Baal, proficient in alchemy, proficient in
Can have
arcana,
more than
proficient in religion. Yeah.
Roll any one of those checks.
I'll roll Arcana.
20.
It looks like water.
Less.
Just plain water.
So, what do you believe this is?
Looks like what it is.
Flexing.
I reckon you're right.
Holy water, perhaps, or just water?
Perhaps unholy water,
I'll say-
considering the circumstances that we find
Well,
it.
technically it's
The
holy to
human
someone.
entrails.
It looks like it would probably be part of a ritual with the entrails. You've seen rituals like this where it's poured on as a sacrament.
Well, it's technically holy in someone's eyes.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
I grab it and smash it over the mask.
Well, speaking of masks, does
Sacrilege
this
to someone.
sound familiar?
Roll a religion check, unless the professor already told you exactly what it is.
I did say it was Baal.
Yeah. I was just for backstory reasons.
Okay.
Just a mask of Baal.
Just a mask of Baal, not familiar to me then.
No.
Probably read about him.
How small is this bottle?
Man,
again?
really?
It looks like a skull.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a human skull.
mine is not so
How,
much.
how small is this bottle again? Like
As small as the bottle.
yay?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably not going to make too much noise, maybe. Hopefully.
It's a metal skull.
And a glass bottle. It's going to break.
Bang.
It's going to break.
You smash it, it splashes over the metal
Yep.
skull. Bits
Cool.
of glass drop into the water with slight splashes.
Ah.
Water drips off the bottom of the chin.
What did you do?
Break the bottle.
Why?
It'll piss someone off.
Just completed a ritual.
Completed or ruined?
You see Baal step out of the water.
Not again.
You are my chosen champion.
He's got a hat on, he's wearing a towel.
My son.
Oh god damn it! This isn't how this is supposed to go.
Well,
Shall
shall we continue if there is nothing else to be had from here?
Sure.
Great.
For sure.
So you see the passage heading back, or another small passage heading forward. You see that branches into a sort of Y fork that goes slightly right or very left.
Okay. I am currently trying to get a bead on where the bloody hell we are, based on that map. There. Okay.
Going through a D7 towards a D8 and D9.
D9.
Yeah, D9.
Oh, okay, yes, cool. I couldn't see maroon on black. Neat.
So,
So
Well-
where are we going?
Well, Smoke's going to be happy because we're getting out of water no matter what.
Oh, but at that, the smoke is just playing in
what
the
is
water.
to the right?
A passageway. The left is also a passageway. I can't see beyond that.
Well, you were saying that one of them is smaller, shorter. What is at the end of it?
You can't quite see from this room. You'd have to move up the path to investigate.
Something. Other than it being shorter, I can't tell you.
Let's walk up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Shorter route.
So as you head out of this,
Oh, sorry, just before that happens, Smoke takes the hat and scoops up water and then just has to put the hat back on.
yep, no water comes out.
Oh, he's
So
brave.
just disappeared.
Keep your fears close, and they cannot harm you.
For reference, Clara, he's just put water in the hat and put it on his head. It's not coming out.
Keep your fears under your hat.
Okay.
Don't worry, I don't understand.
Can we
enemies close.
keep going?
Yes.
Yes. So as you head
Placidly.
forward, you notice that the small passageway to the right is just a very small alcove with a 7-foot tall tapestry hanging off of it. It depicts a grisly scene of 4 faceless figures ripping apart a 5th figure who is screaming.
Okay.
Someone describe this to me. I can make a roll check.
Yeah,
So-
I describe it to you.
Yep.
I'd like to assist.
No, thank you.
Can I appraise it for value?
So that would be 16.
16, religion. Being near the altar of Baal, you would assume this is some sort of ritual that's been depicted. You notice it's a bit yellowy around the edges.
Well, I wouldn't notice that, but someone describes it to me.
Yeah.
This positioning here definitely describes the intent to slaughter their enemies.
How big is it?
It's like they're
7
being
foot
drawn
tall.
in quarter.
7 foot tall. How wide?
It's about 4 foot tall. Oh, sorry, 5 foot.
5.
5 foot wide, 7 foot tall.
There we go.
Well,
I don't know much about art, but I know what I like, and that isn't it.
that would make sense. Shall we continue?
But technically, given that it's provoked an emotional response, it is still good art.
I did not say it was bad art.
Just not
Definitely, like, look at this stitching here on this tapestry.
I
Like, this
walked
section
down
of the
the next
tapestry.
passage.
That's absolutely amazing.
Pointing out something to me that I cannot see.
Oh, my apologies. I cast dancing lights. If you look at this. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
And now, for a moment, everyone saw this tapestry hanging there.
We're coming back for this.
If you insist.
Roll an intelligence check.
Ooh.
If we murder all the cultists, no one will want to buy it.
Yeah.
You made a good point. 10.
It looks fairly well made and actually surprisingly looks dry.
Well, it isn't one of the
Probably
other
get
Bag of holding.
Probably, yeah.
It is a depiction of
I think I read
cultists, but like Claremont said, it's art is in the eye of the beholder. You'd be able to find something that probably pay at least a few hundred gold for it.
Time is the reason to not grab it now.
Wouldn't take that long to get it down with a mage hand.
I've already begun moving.
Multiple.
Exactly. Go for it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the tapestry.
The main
The
man
rogue
just
starts
lightly
his life
backhands
as
you
a
and go,
thief.
are we not on a time limit? We can
Not
come
really.
back for it.
I mean, what is our time limit exactly?
No, I do not want to be found by more cultists. I would rather find them first.
Smoker's just trying to process what he's actually just said. In his head, like, what? Chicken? Look at egg.
Oh, you're probably right.
Cultists or the Dogs of M.E.R.C.Y?
Fine.
We can come back.
We will come back.
They say that, and you never
I
do.
should have You should better sell it to the museum until released. Have a nice little plaque. We're covered by the Dogs of Mercy. As they killed the cultists who were murdering everyone.
You're making it harder to walk away from this.
I'll say, how long would it take to get it down?
Not long, it's the hanging
Just
tapestry.
think about it. If we have to make a quick exit, we won't ever be able to get it back. Just take it now.
Yeah, you gotta take it now.
So,
I've been convinced back and forth a bunch of times now.
Smoke joins Soresa.
Yep.
As a member of university, I'm sure I know how to steal a tapestry.
I could add insult to injury and use my levitate to take it down. But
Yes.
Okay, so just to get straight, Smoke and Sarissa have moved on to the next room.
I'm probably like I've been hanging on to Cerberus, so I'm coming.
You've been left by yourself.
yeah, two of us apparently.
so we've broken Cardinals in already.
Oh, no,
They're like the scouts behind a loot.
The 3 of you head off. The 2 of you start pulling tapestry down. You 2 need to make a dex check for me. Dex save, sorry.
Can I?
That's what's good.
It's the move away.
Oh, save.
Read
Dex.
what they sow.
Well, yeah.
no, it's Dex.
Indeed.
It's fine.
Sorry, it's not dex, it's a constitution save.
Oh, that's fine.
19.
Not intelligence save?
No.
Can I offer you at 14?
14. As you pull it down, these yellow spores start floating into the air and you start coughing. You don't, but you notice you've coughed up some blood and your lungs just start burning as you take 9 points of damage. Whoa. But the spores eventually fall into the water and dissipate. Your lungs hurt. You've coughed up a bit of blood, but you've got the tapestry.
Perfect. I'm gonna roll it up and put it in the bag holding.
Yeah. In the meantime, you 3 reach a room with 3 large doors inlaid. Carved into each of the doors is a full figure depiction of one of the dead three. So to the east door, the face of this door bears a carving of Bane. He's a tall armoured man wearing a bucket helm, and his right gauntlet is painted black as he clutches at a set of shackles. To the north, there's a door with a carving of Baal. He's depicted a powerfully built, skull-headed man with a long curved blade where his hands should be. To the south, there is a door with a carving of Merkel. He's portrayed as a cloaked figure whose face is hidden under the cowl, and his skeletal hands clutch screaming human skull.
Perhaps we should wait for the others to get here before we choose a door.
You hear a hacking cough behind you.
And that is
Well, it would be somewhat muffled from past that trace, but...
What's the distance on that?
30 feet.
Oh shit, you're
That's
right.
when you
yeah.
once it's on people, it's on people.
Oh, cool.
Is it? I wasn't sure if it was just like... I'll double check.
We're going to cast it from the staff. 30-foot zone.
Alright, onward.
Well, shall we wait for them to approach, or shall
No,
we...
range is self.
Yeah, range yourself. I thought it was just within 30 feet of caster.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, it is. What was that?
So...
It's because it comes down to the wording.
Yeah, once it's on people, it's on people.
Yeah, because the range is self.
Ah, yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah, you make a good point. Alright, cool. Yeah, so we come in, Raz is looking quite chuffed with himself.
I have a little bit of blood trickling down my face, but otherwise fine.
I can't see it, so...
I just lean down and go, the professor is bleeding.
What a surprise.
But he's the only one, and it's not me for a change.
Was it gas of some kind?
Tapestry accident?
Oh, spores.
Well, that would explain it. You don't look like you need to breathe. Well, we have the 3 doors in front of us. What is the plan?
Well, before, was it not said that left is the way to go?
Well, first left is... can I ascertain that the door to our left would be the
Baal.
northern door?
Yeah,
Alright.
it would be.
Would I be able to ascertain potentially that's kind of the rough direction we came from?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
It wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do not believe left is best for us at the moment. That may or may not lead to where we came from.
Very good point. I don't have the best sense of direction. I rely on a broken compass.
What's the... So the middle door and the right door are who?
So the
Bane
door
and
to
Merkel.
your east depicts Bane.
So
And
one
the
of
door to the
us.
south is Merkel.
We haven't fucked with Merkel today, have we?
Going by the symbology, I think we have, judging by the scar we saw.
Oh, right, we have. Forward it is.
So which way are you all going?
Door to the
Don't
east.
you remember we once dealt with the Paladin of Bane?
Oh, we did, didn't we? Yeah, he was having a punch up with that Paladin
With smoke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a blast from the past.
He got knocked out like 3 times. Trying to make friends with the Paladin of Bane.
Who's counting, though?
Well, me, apparently.
Who's counting?
Door to the east. Oh, DM friend.
To the east?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe check the traps first.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd like to be checking for traps, please. Thank you, friend.
Roll an investigation check.
I'll help. Good thing you did. 21.
Ooh. On the dice?
Yeah. It's a nat 21.
You investigate it and it doesn't seem trapped.
Cool. No, yeah, nothing dangerous through here.
You say that now.
I don't know if you don't trust my eyes.
Well, no, say nothing dangerous through here. There's obviously going to be danger behind the door.
Back up.
As opposed to danger on here.
Shall we?
Shall we? Yes. Onward through the door.
Yep. You swing the door open, and you see ahead of you a long passage with a couple more sets of stairs leading down. You see ahead of you about 60 or 70 feet. It goes back into water and then sharply turns right.
More into the water. I'm fine. Yeah,
Lead the
we'll
way.
go down, I guess.
Yep.
Making sure that I'm... we're not in water.
Not yet.
Shall we check for traps again?
Probably best.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Always better be somewhere.
Indeed.
Especially when I cannot see a thing.
Indeed.
I shall insist.
So yeah, Sarissa, you want to help out with this?
What?
Well, that was a 1 and a 2.
You notice that some of the stones on the floor are discoloured.
Yeah.
Might be traps.
Ah, awful.
What do you
I noticed
think
that
of
one at 4.
What do you think of that?
Sure did.
kind of trappy. Possibly. Maybe avoid
Well,
the
someone's
discoloured
going ahead and
stones.
guiding me, so at least it won't be me going past.
That is very true.
Who wants to be the sacrificial lamb?
Well, have you ever heard of the saying, of the rogue log? Unfortunately, we do not have a log, but we have a rogue. I'm gonna just shove him in the back. Why?
That's awful. I'm just going to fall over for now. That sucks.
Yep, you land on one of the discolored stones and break yourself and nothing happens.
Oh,
Not traps.
excellent, Charlie.
That is quite
You've done
the,
quite a good job, myself.
interesting method.
Well, when you don't have a log, you must improvise.
Well, at least you've also got someone to patch them up afterwards.
That is a good plan.
I mean, he just gets up and dusts himself off and he's like, thank you?
It's okay, it was not that.
We're just going to move through now.
Yep, you all start heading forward.
Yeah.
Eventually going down into water until it's knee deep and you turn right. Step into the room. The eastern part of the room is unlit, flooded, and braced from floor to ceiling with wooden beams. Rough-hewn steps seem to rise out of the murky water to the western portion of the room, which is dry and lit by 2 torches and sconces that flank a stone altar. Shackled to the wall behind the altar is a sickly-looking man in a loincloth with a burlap sack over his head. The alcove to the north wall contains a freestanding suit of plate armour missing its helm. Standing before the altar are 2 grim figures, a powerfully built woman clutching a mace and an even bigger man wearing a bucket helm. The helm man is jabbing the prisoner with a spear, causing him to twitch. Both figures are clad in chainmail. The woman carries a wooden shield with a leering skull painted on it. As you enter the room, they both turn to look at you.
Do they see us?
And that's where we're running it for tonight.
Stop!
So don't forget to check in next week. We'll find out what happens next.
Can't wait.
Thank you to everyone who stuck around, and thank you for the new followers. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. We're on a hiatus for Star Wars this week.
No, this week's
This week's
fine. But it's next week with the release of Star Wars Episode 9.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Movie, surprisingly enough, we can't get a group together to play Star Wars.
That would do it.
Yeah.
Alright, so check in on Thursday, which is tomorrow, for our Star Wars game. And next week we're only going to be running Wednesday again. So we won't be here Monday or Thursday, but make sure you check in to see what happens next as we descend into Avernus. So thanks guys.
We're descending from here.